check is good. Thanks to Wes. Appreciate the petty.
Uh-oh.
He disappeared.
Yeah.
It's our show now.
It's got that Dollar General internet.
It's the takeover.
Woohoo!
Not a problem. So, Raging Tomato, is that just a tomato with hot sauce on it, or?
Just an angry tomato, that's all.
Okay.
Sounds delicious.
How was what was everybody's New Year's Eve experience? Anything special?
I was wearing pajamas. The mister was also wearing pajamas, and we watched the ball drop 30 seconds before it did, and cheers with some non-alcoholic apple cider, and then went back to chilling on the couch doing nothing. It was glorious, absolutely glorious.
Nice. I was very similar to Ruby. We were vaccine as well, me and my boyfriend, and we actually didn't even make it to midnight. He was trying to finish the last season of Game of Thrones, so we got into an episode, and next thing I knew, he was telling me it's time for bed. So because I fell asleep. So
the last season of Game of Thrones, did nobody tell him the news? It was horrible.
Well, he's trying to finish it. I don't have the heart to tell him, but
who's trying to finish? First of all, who's a fan of Game of Thrones? Oh, cool.
I mean, after season 5, why would anyone? I mean,
just move on to the prequel.
So who are you trying? So who are you trying to get to watch the? I guess play catch up, Sarah. So who's watching on your end?
My boyfriend's finishing the season, the 8th season, final one.
Nice. Welcome to the team. Again, apologize, guys. First of all, 25 seconds late, Apex, and the disconnection might end, so we're going to start up. So last intro, we're going to get it cracking. So thank you for Wes and everybody for holding it down.
At last.
The king's back in the throne's mind. The future's here and it's my time. Straight shot, going for the head with it. Take his head off and say that I did it. Good riddance. Say hi to the bad guy, back in business. If you took what's mine, I'm back to get it. There's nothing you can do. I'm back with vengeance. Now turn me loose. Now turn me loose.
All right, appreciate it. Dinner freeze, no connection issues. Appreciate everybody for coming on through. Let me get a shout out real quick for everybody. So again, thank you. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that good stuff. Thank you. glad we're here for another year to get back into shenanigans, I guess. So let's get it.
For those that's listening out there in the YouTube universe, shout out to Great Pill Podcast. Go holler at him. Hell yeah. Give him a like and subscribe. Go view his channel, if you will. Courtesy of Classic Lights.
For all your Spanish watchers and viewers, Telemundo, Univision, Galavisión. Hola, buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches, damas y caballeros. Por favor, suscriben, gusten y por favor compartir este canal de YouTube. Cualquier parte del mundo donde están ahorita, por favor. Familia, amigos o socios de trabajo, lo que sea, por todo el mundo, por favor, suscriben al canal del Grey Pill Podcast, el Pastilla Gris, por favor. Muchas gracias.
Again, appreciate everybody for coming on through. Chester Cat, like always. Apex, thank you. Welcome to the Great Pill Podcast, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Mama mia, señorita Alicia, appreciate you. Thank you. And I'm glad we had like a little small conversation in the back. So I like her vibes, her spirit. Celine, appreciate you. Mountain Relationship, salute to you, good sir. Appreciate you. Alicia was my little companion buddy for the last stream. We're just chopping up, having a good chill out. So appreciate you for the New Year's. Thank you. Bronze, appreciate you, man. Hope you're here for the rest of the conversation. It's going to be a good one. It's going to definitely be a good one. All right, so all due respect. So again, everybody about the relationship conversation, bring your perspective here, like always. All right, everything's not black and white. There's gray in the middle. So I saw a stream on Jubilee, went viral, of course, like always. Shout out to them, where particular people's having conversations about relationships, and particularly can men and women be friends? Two reasons I thought it was a very interesting conversation. One, because it was Jubilee, and they usually have generally good conversations. Two, because I saw my favorite red pill female grifter up there, and I was like, what does she got to talk about? All I just keep saying more of the tatas moving around. So we ain't gonna make it about the tatas, we're gonna make it about the conversation. But unfortunately, I saw some little remnants of her personality there, and I was like, Jesus Christ. But we're going to have the conversation overall. All right, so with further ado, let me invite the rest of the guests up here. There we go. All right, so Miss Sarah, she like smile like, yes, he did.
I love the little video compilations. They're so perfect.
Thank you. Wait till I start working on debating stages, because I got a whole bunch of ideas for that one.
Oh, I will say I'm setting up so that I can start live streaming soon. I got all of my gear because I pre-record everything. So I'm finally breaking the ice, and I'm going to start live streaming here in a few weeks. And
really?
But yeah, so you'll have to come on.
I do it for you. I don't know. I just loved your pre-records. That's my whole goal for.
I will still do those. I'm actually planning my next News from the Manosphere to kick off Monday, hopefully, as long as I can get my recording in this weekend. But I was sitting there and I was thinking, like, I want intro videos and I want the little snippets, just like what you've done in between. And so this was actually really nice. I'm going to rewatch them and see what you did exactly. So.
Okay. I appreciate that. I know I had to reach out to a guest that was on whatever podcast. So she made this email of a lot of instructions. She wanted a video for her edited. So that's business. So I appreciate her for giving me the opportunity to do that. So I'm looking forward to your lives. I got to ask her, is it going to be like Ashley's, or are you going to have like actual gender? Because y'all got different niches on how y'all do things. So is yours going to be more?
I've got two different directions I'm thinking of going. Because I don't know if you've seen me go on Playing with Fire for all the speed dates. Mm-hmm. But one thing I realized I was really good at was roasting the speed daters. Yeah. And men love this. They thrive off of it, and they love to be roasted. So one thing I was thinking of was a roasted tomatoes type of stream where they can come on, they get 5 minutes, and all I do is roast them. I'm not necessarily speed dating them to help them in that form or manner, but I'm speed dating per se to like be funny and be an asshole. Kind of like almost similar. I was kind of looking at that Pineapple Show, almost similar to that.
Oh.
but it's straight roasting. Like you come in prepared for it.
Now, because when I seen you on the speed datings, you do a certain way of like, for me, it's like a low key, snarky type jab. Like everybody else to see it, but they won't see it. But the front face of you, like, hey, I'm literally giving you some genuine
like
information to help you out. And then if they don't get it, then it's like you just hit them with one. It's like, and it to me, I love that. That allows low key slapstick humor that nobody catches except for the actual people. So it's gonna be more like that, or gonna be straight hardcore roasting.
I realize that same concept as well, because typically when I go on Alex's stream, I'm doing him a favor. I'm trying to be kind to the guests, and honestly, I've probably speed dated most of them anyways. I'm a veteran there. Like,
Yep.
just come to that point. So typically I do try to give genuine feedback to the nice ones who actually are there for it. But when the douchebags come on, I'm just a total asshole and I don't care. So there's like a different compilation between each piece of it. But I think the show that I want to do will probably be in that I'm just gonna be an asshole no matter what. And if you come on and you're a nice guy, like, you will be warned once you get on there. So that's one concept I think I might do. And then the other one, I was also thinking of doing like an actual series of like manosphere content and breaking it down, because a lot of people, when they see my stuff and they're normies, people that don't understand YouTube and things like that, they're like, what the hell's the manosphere? And I'm like, we need a breakdown. Nobody's given a breakdown, or at least none that I've seen, of like,
I spoke to one young lady. She's right here, but she has a different name. It was her and somebody else. I broke down just two of the pills in the manosphere. It drained the crap out of me to the point, like, if somebody asks, I like, yo, we gotta have a private conversation because it's a lot. It's a lot. I say do both, like, because you're gonna have a in the playlist. So just have one all, the roasting, one all just like giving context to other people so they can understand. And then if the slow ones can't figure it out, they can't figure it out.
Yeah, I think it comes down to my time, because I still want to do my recordings as well in between all of that, and that's like 8 hours minimum just for a 10-minute clip. So
Facts.
It's a lot of work. And doing the live streams isn't too bad, and roasting people isn't too hard. All you got to do is show up, but it's still time. You still do prep for that and have to prepare for it mentally for it and things of that nature. So
I got to prep for that, since you're saying, "Man, come on, they roasting." So I don't know how it will go by that. I don't know.
I'm debating, but yeah.
All right, that's what's up. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. Wes, what's going on, man? Ruby, we came out today. Just know we're behind the scenes, and Happy New Year to everybody.
I guess she's still recovering from New Year.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I forgot all about it, but I was like, oh, it's the next day after Christmas. You was like, you was down, so we had the conversation, and then Ruby was like, oh, it's the holidays. That's okay, no problem. So I just still sent it to her anyway, just in case. And then I don't know, maybe she's still recovering in the hangover stage. I don't know.
You guys are so funny. No, actually, for Christmas, I got a lot on my wish list. And my wish list had a lot to do with revamping my office. So, new desk. I have the insulation, to reduce sound echo. Like, I have a lot of stuff for my office. So basically nothing was in my office like 20 minutes ago. And I called in on my phone, but I've been resetting up my office so that way I could come in on the cam once we were done, which I'm about to be done in a second. So I'm about to check them.
No problem. Take your time. All right. So let's get started. So topics about can men and women be friends? So we're just going to go around the bunch and chat. Let us know too. Appreciate all your conversations. Miss Leslie, I hope you don't be too much of a cloud watcher, okay? Because I'll be seeing you hopping on them panels. All right. So I would love to hear your insight, because Leslie has a lot of input. Actually, I would have to say this because this is what had me steer the direction of this understanding what a narcissist is. So thanks to Leslie, because she just kept screaming flying monkeys for like a whole year, and I never caught on. And then a year when I did, and I was like, oh, let me do my homework. And I was like, this makes so much sense now. So much sense. So thank you to her. All right. So question around the clock and to the chat. Can men and women be friends? Yes, no, and why? Wes, we'll go with you, Mr. Conservative.
I'd say yes with limitations. Like
What kind of limitation?
they can't be like full on best friends like two dudes would be. Like you can't tell your wife or the person in your relationship with, yeah, I'm going to go hang out with my best friend who happens to be a female. It doesn't work, because you spend too much time with that person being your best friend. You're starting to confide in her with things that you should be confiding in who you're actually in a relationship with, and it just muckies things up.
Fair enough. What about you, Sarah?
I think it depends on ages and stages of relationships that you're in. And I'll say this as an example. I think high schoolers, they're still learning the dynamics of friendship and relationships and things of that nature. And you will have girls and guys being friends during that age range. I think that's normal, and I think that's natural. But I think once you come out of that and you start getting into college or your early 20s, and you come across a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, I think that's when your friendships with the opposite sex should kind of cease and go away. For instance, any male friends that I had, of course, they're just friends. Nothing's going on, but I sure as hell wouldn't be caught hanging out with them individually or talking to them, or texting daily or anything like that. Once I have a boyfriend, that is the man in my life. That's the only man I need in my life, you know. So I could understand maybe us going and hanging out together, but I would never do that individually outside of my significant other.
Fair enough. Ruby, the question was, can men and women be friends? Yes, no, and why?
Okay. Well, I'll say yes. The majority of the close friends I've had in my life have been male. So I think first, the issue is that a lot of people don't define the word friendship correctly. And so as a result, they're saying friendship. Yeah, me and this guy are friends, or me and this girl are friends, right? Opposite sex, when the relationship between these two people is not friendship, right? So basically it comes down to, if you and this other person, regardless of their gender or yours, if you guys have things in common, right? You enjoy similar things, you guys want to talk about that, that's the basis of your bonding. If you guys have a mutual reciprocity, mutual respect, mutual adoration, like it's all about the mutuality of things, right? Then you can say, okay, we're friends, right? But a lot of people, what they do is they use kind of like you're like boyfriend light or girlfriend light, right? Relationship light. And they have this person there because they're lonely. So this person is filling the spot of a boyfriend or a girlfriend, without any of but you're not having sex. So therefore you're just friends. It's like, no. That's not what a friendship is, right? So if you're the kind of person who generally tends not to relate well to things that, like, say, guys are interested in, or just the way that you see the world tends to really kind of be dissonant to what the way guys that see the world, or vice versa. If you're a guy and you're just the way you see the world, the things you're interested in, whatever, women tend not to really appreciate, respect, and joy, then yeah, you probably are not the kind of person who's going to have real friends of the opposite gender. But if you're the kind of person where you're like, hey, your views, your interests, whatever, are really middle of the road, or you're just lucky in the fact that the people you tend to live around, you guys all tend to have similar interests and whatever, regardless, then yeah, you're probably going to have friends that are guys, friends that are girls. I always had male friends, probably more male friends than I had female friends. And I never quite understood my female friends. So for me, the female friends were the challenge, because I was so desperate to have them, but they didn't make any sense to me. The things they cared about, the things they wanted to do, and whatever. And I would just watch them almost like they were like specimens, because I didn't get it, but I wanted to get it, right? Whereas in the guys, it was just easier for me, right? Because we were just the same. The way that we saw the world, the way we interacted with it, the things we were interested in, the way that we showed that interest, the things we wanted to do,
So what changed when you got in the relationship? And it's like now the dynamic changed a little bit. So if you're saying you was more friends with all male friends, and now you got in a relationship and currently you're married, so how did that dynamic change?
Yeah, no, I have the same distribution of friends, male versus female. And I mean, anyone who knows me in real life, and some people who know me well on the internet, call me a dude. It's not on purpose, right? I'm not trying to be a dude. It's just the way that I am. So you can tell, like, these are my friends. Like, they're not, there's no, they're my friends, and they show respect to, now my husband, but, before boyfriends that I had or whatever. Like, this is not, you can tell, guys can tell when they're looking at another guy if that guy means their
Yeah, but there's
relationship.
some guys that can't tell, and they want to push the envelope just a little bit to see what the chick can allow.
Hey, that might be true, but I've just never been with men who are that lacking in discernment. So at the end of the day, and I wouldn't be. So for me, and it's always come down to, right, like, trust is a big factor. Obviously, you have to trust and know your significant other, right? So to know me is to know that I don't really play all of this casual sex games. I don't play the cheating game. I don't play the lying game. I don't. And if I found out a friend of mine suddenly was developing feelings, that friendship would get cut off. It wouldn't be a thing. And I would tell, like, my husband immediately, like, it wouldn't be a thing. So there's a lack of threat there. He has female friends also, right? And the same rules apply. Like, his best friend is a woman.
I was just covering a little bit of that earlier stream, just pretty much a chill one. So that's what we're going to touch base on. But let me share this because it's a video of Jubilee. So they had a lot to say, and we saw our fellow female grifting red pill up there too. But I digress. So we're gonna fall off from her a little bit. Excuse me, my bad, not you. wrong person. But yeah, so we're gonna fall off from that for a bit. But yeah, so appreciate everybody for coming through. Let me say hello to a few people. Appreciate Empress for coming on through. Little highs up there. Sita, I don't think I ever called you female Poppy, but y'all do act alike because Jesus, y'all both speak your mind. And I'm very interested to hear Poppy take, because me and Poppy but it had this discussion. He 100% agrees women and men cannot be friends. Like, he stands on that. Shout out to Red. Shout out to everybody else that's coming up through. I apologize if I missed anybody. I know Empress is not really new, but hitting the chat. So thank you.
Men and women cannot just be friends. 3, 2, 1.
He's still deciding, but I'll go ahead. There's always this underlying current to a man and a woman when they're just friends, because there's this sexual attraction, this energy that you can't even see it. It's always flowing. And men, as you know, you guys are conquerors. You want a conquest. You want to, even if it's a friend, sometimes that develops into more simply because law of familiarity, you start getting close and comfortable. Maybe you weren't attracted to her initially, but that opposition of that sexual polarity always happens. Listen, man, it's like.
All right, just on that alone. Anybody got a take on that? Anybody agrees with her? Go ahead.
So I do agree with her statement. The one thing I'd like to preface that with is that the younger males, like early 20s or teenagers coming up today, like, generations are really different the way they grew up, because they've been taught that they're all the same. In fact, they are not. So they're going to enter a very difficult growth period in their early 20s, trying to become an adult and not realize they are actually different, and these things will actually come to play. And when times get tough, our inner instincts will start kicking in. That goes in for both males and females. When there is a need, we start having a greater drive to fulfill that need. That's not just sexually. I realize you probably took it that way, Ruby.
Well, I feel like she was taking that because you're doing a lot of hand gestures. So.
Why Ruby? Hold on, wait a minute. You're calling me.
He already trying to bait. We're not gonna fall for it. Don't fall for it.
I know you too well.
Don't fall for it. He's trying to bait. He's trying a little bit.
I'm saying, like, just economically and resource-wise, when times are tough, both males and females, we go into a different mode of survival, and we start employing more primitive survival skills.
With your friend? All that you say is with your friend.
I'm saying that all those guys and girls, I think that they can be friends just as well they can be friends with, like, the same gender. They're going to find out that they can't be.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead, sir, because I'm a little bit lost with that one. We'll tackle that. Come back to that.
I think that naturally, male and female both, we have instincts no matter what. And I think at the end of the day, can a male and female Yeah, you can be friend zoned, right? But what's a friend zone? A friend zone is a one-way style attraction. So I think at the end of the day, no matter whether you're saying, oh yeah, we're just friends, I think one of them is at least attracted to the other. So they'll cling on to whatever they can have, versus like, oh yeah, they're just friends. It's just hard for me to believe that. I think I think at the end of the day, if any female turned to any male friend and said, let's bone, I think he's probably gonna be like, okay, cool.
In his mind, he's being a good friend.
Yeah, no, it's just not true. I mean, I'm
probably the only one. I'm probably the only one. Like,
so how about this? At our age, with actually developing, maturing, and realizing do's and don'ts.
Let's talk about it. High school too. Let's talk about it.
But back in, but all these younger kids, growing up in high school, college, early 20s, they don't understand consequences the way that we understand consequences. They may not, and they're still thinking that they can still be friends.
Yeah,
like just normal friends, but they haven't learned yet. No, we can't be friends in that normal route, because the moment that, like Raging Tomato said, a girl turns to her friend and says, hey, I'm bored, just want to go, like, smash.
Yeah, but see, this is okay. Yeah, but it comes back to but it comes back to boundaries, how you carry yourself. Because Ruby was saying earlier, just for herself, right? Like, hey, and Sarah's not having agreements of the concept.
Ruby's not going to go around and like talking to random dudes, like, and saying stuff like that.
Yeah, but Sarah's not going to run around talking to random dudes now. But she's American, so where we going with this conversation? So again, if it's how I feel like it's how you carry yourself, and just carry yourself. Period. If I have a friend, he's a friend. You know what I'm saying? So why sacrifice that? Because why? Because I'm having a dry spell 3 to 6 months. Because I'm having blue balls 3 to 6 months. That doesn't make any sense. So the world that you have painted at the end of it, if I walk in my door, I'm still going to see the opposite sex every other 5 seconds.
But
why would I?
They're still attracted to each other. That's the point.
Yeah, but attraction don't mean I need to sleep with them.
Yeah, but no.
I think Ruby attracted, but I'm not attracted to her like I need to.
Right. There's a difference between being able to evaluate someone's level of attractiveness, right, as far as the way they look, and you being sexually attracted to that person, right? It's a reason why I can look at my female friends and evaluate their level of beauty and their level of sexuality, like as far as how sexy they are. I can evaluate that, and I have zero desire to sleep with them. The problem is that everyone keeps looking at, well, hey, if you have the opposite parts as me, and I'm attracted to to people who have the opposite parts, it means I'm attracted to all people with those parts. It means, given the fact that she has a hole, I would sleep with it. If she said, hey, let's do it. Likewise, she would turn around one day when she's bored and say, hey, I want to sleep with my friends. If that's true, then that means that people sleep with their friends in general when they're bored.
There's something wrong with you if you're doing that too.
Okay,
Can we let Sarah clarify her own point?
Yes.
What about the emotional bond between friends? Right. So like I have female friends who are like sisters to me, and I have a very small circle, right? Because like I have developed a very strong bond with them, and I'm not a surface level kind of person, especially with female friends. Like once we're bonded, that's it. We're bonded for life. And I look at my male counterpart just the same as, when I'm with a significant other, like that's it, that you are mine, I am yours, and we are connected, and that's our bond. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have room for another male in that bond that I've created with this man. And I wouldn't want room for another man either. Like to me, it's not like, my spouse should be my best friend. He should be my best male counterpart. He should be the best male I'm established with and bonding with and all of those things. I don't feel the need to go find that male counterpart with any other guy, unless he's gay. That's a whole nother ball game. I feel like that one counts. But like to have male friends, I feel like that's what my spouse or significant other is there for. That's my male bonding. Females, that's a whole nother thing. I don't get that from my spouse. That's a whole nother ball game. But I think there's only room for one. you know.
That's the problem. You're doing actually, and I'm glad that you said this because you're highlighting what I said earlier, which is that some people really misuse the word friend, right? And so, for example, friend zoning someone is saying, I understand you're sexually attracted to me. I'm not sexually attracted to you, but if you want to hang out here in a platonic way, buy my drinks, be my confidant, my shoulder to cry on, whatever, because you're orbiting, hoping one day I might slip up and sleep with you. Great, we can be friends. That's not friendship, right? And so the problem is that when you're saying this, you're saying, I don't have any room for another male. You shouldn't, not in the way that you have room for your husband, because my husband is the only person in my life who occupies that space. Okay. My friendships occupy the friendship space. It is a very different space to occupy. For the purpose of friendship, all of my male friends might as well be gay. They might as well, either that or they might as well literally be related to me, like they grew up in my house, and vice versa for them, right? Because friendship does not include the things you would do with a husband, including sexual attraction, including the type of emotional and intimate bonding you would do with a husband versus a friendship. They're very different things. And the fact that people don't separate those things these days is exactly why we're so confused with this question.
Hold on. Leslie had a question, and we'll get back to the video. She says, so what is it defined as? And I guess it's directed to you. What if the slip up guy is a great friend to you?
But he's not. He's not your friend at all. Right. And in fact, he's not your friend. See, these are games people play because they like the benefit, right? They like the benefit of someone who's going to be your boyfriend in every significant way, but you don't have to put out for him, nor do you have to reciprocate. Right. And so she gets to be a friend. She's treating him like a friend. She doesn't pay for his way out. She doesn't have to celebrate his special occasions, like, doing something intimate or whatever. She doesn't have to text him and say, good morning, beautiful, or any of that stuff. Right. But she's accepting him doing all of that for her. And he's doing it because he's constantly trying to prove himself as a boyfriend, because he's not really her friend, right? Because there's ways that friends treat each other, right? So as a friend, for example, my friends don't pick me up and then drive me to the place and then pave my way while I'm at the place and then pretend to hit on me and then drive me back home and then listen to me cry for 6 hours and then do it again tomorrow, right? Like that's not.
She's breaking up a little bit. So it was a question, I guess, for overall, and we get to the video. Vega says, I have heard men are not friends with women they aren't attracted to. Is that true? Wes?
No.
Sir?
No, I disagree with that. So I like I said, males and females can be friends, but with limitations. So I do have females that I would consider to be friends, but there's no attraction there. There's no going back and forth, but also it's not like we're constantly trying to seek, hang out with each other either. Like they're more like friends in passing. Like, if you're in college, there's someone that I would see in class. If I'm at work, there's someone that I see at work, but not someone I seek to have a relationship outside of that space.
Right. And for instance, like I have a childhood best friend who happens to be a man, now, and like we've been in contact since we were 6 years old, and I'm 36 now. So that's a good solid 30 years. But he's, fully aware that if I'm in a relationship, like we're very limited in communications, and he's fully aware of that. And then if I'm single, obviously I'll go, like, we'll go hang out, we'll go shooting or whatever, things of that nature. It's fine. It's chill. But like, if I'm in a relationship, he's fully aware, like the only way we're going to be hanging out is if I bring my significant other with me, because I wouldn't, like, to me, it's just, I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of like, oh, you're going to go be alone with this person who you've known longer than me, obviously. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird dynamic.
I think
why even put that imagery? And I'm not saying there's not a like trust factor already in place, but why even put that imagery in a place where it doesn't need to happen?
Yeah, I think the problem is with most guys is when that comes, like, I'm still more like how you carry things, because most guys, I think how the dynamics instantly supposed to change. Like, hey, I'm your boyfriend. So if you're saying for that guy, you're saying, hey, it's less. But now if you're single, so you're saying it's more. And then if it's a little bit more of time spent with the male friend, what does that mean? Are y'all like, hey, well, we went from just like walking in the arms distant, now we're like holding hands because hey, I don't got no boyfriend no more. So we could be a little bit more closely.
But the
So
relationship doesn't have that dynamic, and it never has. So I'm not
Yeah.
like not the instance, but out of respect, out of respect to like even when I was married, I was married for almost 10 years, and my best male friend knew damn well like if I was coming up to hang out and do something, my husband was coming with me. We come as a pair, like we are together. We are an item. We are going to go hang out with my friend, not me. Like that's to me, it's just that's how we operate. And it's not even a matter of, that's not a request from my significant other. That's a self-done thing. Like I make this decision to say, like, why would I want to go hang out with another man without my man?
Just another man. I don't know.
Fair enough. All right, I'm gonna get back to the video and see what the rest of the other panel had to say about it.
Not attracted to women, just like generally. Do you think that's still?
You mean if they take a different,
like a gay man, an
sexual orientation,
and a woman being friends?
Well, I think that's different, perhaps because they're attracted to men. So in that moment, they have taken on the feminine energy.
So they only want to conquer the men, not the women.
Well, in that, there's always masculine and feminine energy, whether you're a man or woman. So if the man is gay and identifies as being attracted to men, then he's in the feminine energy, mostly. Now, if there's two of them, there's one that's more masculine and more feminine, but that's for another.
Two of my best friends.
Did anybody understand what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We like it.
So basically, it's like, okay, it's not literally, but generally in relationships in general, one person is the masculine and one person's the feminine, right? And so generally with men and women, right? The woman is the feminine, the feminine counterpart. She's the one who's the nurturer, and she would prefer to cook and to take care of the kids, and just the little things. And she's more detail oriented and whatever, right? And then one's more the masculine. They like the brute force and they like the sports, and they're more about the toughness and the defense and whatever, right? The masculine traits. And so and sometimes that's reversed though in relationships. And sometimes you see that the man is more the feminine and the woman is more the masculine. But so what she was just basically saying is that even in gay relationships or lesbian relationships, one is the feminine and one is the masculine. And you'll see the traits where the masculine gay guy is still, he's very muscular and, he's more of the defender and whatever. And then the more feminine gay person is more the twink, right? Like, it's like, they're more, skinny and likes to dress up and put the makeup on and, just the more feminine energy. That's basically what she's saying.
Okay. Fair enough. Shout out to everybody for coming through. Salute to Poppy Blanco. Was it Bella, right?
Mama, that's Mama Bella. Sorry, that's my mother-in-law. So it's like,
okay. Yeah, I was trying to make sure I caught her in the chat. So happy holidays to you. Poppy Blanco, what's good, man? Yeah, we having your favorite conversation, Poppy, because we can men and women be friends. So I know you strongly believe in your heart and your soul that all women and men can be friends. I believe you believe it. All right, so back to the video.
He does not.
It's called gaslighting.
Are women. We have great times together all the time. Not once have I considered sleeping with them or anything like that.
Ever?
No. But
my man face.
That's the thing is though.
In
that's
their
why,
darkest hour, in your darkest hour.
The other guy knows.
Huh?
That other guy knows.
No, he's looking because I think he a pookie. Wait, hold on. Let's react real quick.
So if the man is gay and identifies as being attracted to men, then he's in the feminine energy, mostly. Now, if there's two of them, there's one that's more masculine and more feminine, but that's for another.
Two of my best friends are women. We have great times together all the time. Not once have I considered sleeping with them or anything like that.
Ever?
See, look at his face. Instantly, never, ever.
Right. Some men are not made to be friends with women.
That's what I'm saying.
Some women are not made to be friends with men. Like, it's not everyone.
I'm a project on him, Wes. I think the fact that maybe he's probably been doing all the Pookie and the Rays around the block in the streets. I think because he's in his little bubble and he sees like, hey, I don't see it, so therefore it got to be an absolute. I know he wasn't here on the stream. I told you I was going to elaborate this. 2 occasions, girlfriend, boyfriend. I said no when she wanted, and I'm like, it ain't the time. And I was deemed the mature one of that era of high school. And then moving on in the future, same thing. I literally have a female friend. We are cool. There's never been no flirtation and text messages. None of them. Let me do a selfie. None of that all extra stuff to try to plant seeds. Even the weird Facebook one, because anybody got Facebook, you know daggone well it wasn't made for that, but people know what you be doing. And I use throw Sarah in the bus. She got thick skin. So me and Sarah got a Facebook account, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, there's all these freaking emojis in there. I just keep hearting all her pictures. Only pictures of her now. Only pictures of her. Now, if I have a girlfriend, she catch that. She's like, hey, a little bit sus now. So it's weird things that people do. So again, but hey, miss our friends. We's friends though. But let me heart only her pictures. Only her pictures. So yeah, he's on that Pookie vibe. Just because he's not, it worked for him doesn't mean it worked for everybody else. So let me get back to the video. Look at him. He's just like, yeah.
No, but that's the thing is though.
In
that's
their
why,
darkest hour, in your darkest hour. Come on.
No.
You like not at all.
And no, and I have to agree with that too. I disagree with what she's saying. Your darkest hour. I don't know what that means, but if we're saying, hey, if I had a quote unquote dry spell, I haven't had done 3, 6 months to a year, I'm not calling my female friend to lure her over or plant some kind of weird little let's hang out date so I can get the options of sleeping with her because I haven't had in a long time. That's the most dumbest thing ever. Actually, I'm losing a friend. I am losing a friend. So why would we even make that an option? Well, if it's that so much serious for sex, just go pay for it. Strip clubs, corners, liquor stores, somebody out there waiting for you. They got apps now.
The conversation here is he's saying he's never had a thought about sleeping with his female friends, and what's her name? Janelle is saying, really? Never? Like you've never thought about, seeing what's there.
Yeah, but see, you're an atheist though, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little bit later. So you see but don't touch but don't taste but don't swallow. It's okay to say, again, saying a little option conversation that Ruby said, right? Hey, I know they're attractive. Hell, I even gave Sarah a compliment last time she was on. Like, yo, Sarah working the abs. But that doesn't mean that I'm like, I won't give with Sarah tomorrow morning. That ain't happening. It's not happening. I can literally see me hanging out with Sarah, drinking a cool beer, having some good times. I could definitely now
with her boyfriend there, because that's how they roll.
What?
I was just gonna say, but if I had a boyfriend the last time I was on here and you had said that and my boyfriend was sitting next to me, you wouldn't say that.
Correct.
What? Sorry, can you say that again? No, I don't like. He said correct. I'm confused. Wait, he wouldn't say what if your boyfriend was sitting next to you? Then he wouldn't have said what?
I guess you said if I know, like, or he was there physically. I wouldn't give her that compliment.
He would about the abs.
Yeah, I won't do that.
Okay. See, I think that's weird. See, to me, when you start changing your behavior, because the significant others in earshot or whatever, to me, that's when I look at that behavior. That's not purely friendship behavior, and it's not. So to me,
well, it could be the tone too, because the tone was for me, and the tone was, hey, I saw you when you did the last video. I recognize you have abs. You look very attractive with your abs. Now the tone would may be different if the boyfriend was there. I might say, hey, I saw we came through past the gym. Oh, you're holding it down. I probably keep it low key, just like that.
Well, see, and that's what I mean, though. So to me, there should be very clear lines. Now, I do understand that to an extent, right? When you're single, your friend is single, even though you're not attracted to them at all, right? You might give them a little boost up emotionally. I mean, women do this to women, right? They give them boosts up, be like, "Oh, girl, you look sexy." I get it, right? But the thing is that, again, if you would feel uncomfortable saying it when someone's significant other is around, you shouldn't say it. Or like when they're not around that. And if you are okay with doing that switch, then in your head, I think it's likely that you probably have had more of these friendships where it's like, yeah, it's not purely friendship. You don't want to ruin the good connection y'all have or the good working relationship y'all have or whatever by taking it somewhere else, but you're not purely friends, right?
I don't even think it's that. I think it's more of the level of respect factor than anything.
Well, and the gray pill. To him, I was single at that time, so it didn't matter. But all I'm saying is, if I being in a relationship now, and if my boyfriend was sitting next to me, gray pill would be respectful to that factor, because I especially said something about having a boyfriend at the beginning of the stream. So of course he's naturally going to tone himself down and not. He's going to, out of respect, he's going to be that way, you know. But if and I'm single, it kind of like it's a little more. He's not insulting enough, right?
I totally hear you. I just think that because of the way that I see things, right? And like, because this is how I live. Like when I say things, like I think that this is how it should be, and if not, I really do think that there's some. So because of that, that's the way that I perceive things, when I'm single or not, right? Mm-hmm. Or when he's in the room or not, or whatever it is, right? Because of that, you know, maybe that is the reason why, for example, like my husband does not have an issue with my male friends, right? Because like my male friends it wouldn't occur to them to see me in certain ways. Like some of my male friends, like literally, they don't watch my later night streams. Like when I was doing streams with Melody, they wouldn't watch them because it made them really uncomfortable to hear me talk about certain things, in the same way it would make them uncomfortable to hear like their little sister talk about certain things.
I was going to say, so like brothers for you.
Right, exactly. And that's where a lot of my friendships go to. My friendships are, I either have like family level friends, or you're like, we're cool, right? But we're not, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's my friend, you know, like I rep you. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's why, because I'm like, I do see that behavior to me is different. Everything you say, everything my friends say to me in private when I'm single, whatever, they would say right in front of my husband, because it's just as platonic. It's just
I just think it's, you know? I just think it's little levels to it at that point, because I think because I have to go back and see what I said exactly, but it's pretty much came across that. I think I would say that, but it'd just be more friendlier in a way. It's still said, but it's like a little bit more friendly way, because she's a relationship. And two, I think it's levels to it too. I really think it's levels.
Very complimentary the way you said it. I wasn't like insulted or like, oh my God, you know, it wasn't. It would be something where I wouldn't be ashamed if you said it in front of my man, because the way you said it was very respectful, like a salute almost, you know. That's how I took it.
Yeah. Now, if I would have said something like, "Oh, Sarah got a nice ass," then I said the same thing. That'd be like kind of, I'm stepping over a line a little bit. That just, I don't know. I see it differently. Wes, is everything okay with your sound like you was scratching or kicking a can or something?
Really?
What?
Yeah, you're doing a lot, man. I heard a little bit of a lot going on. I don't know if you're scratching the cat, kicking the can.
Let me check my mic settings.
Yeah, maybe the gain up a little bit. Like, what kind of game you playing? All right, back to it. Bro. Hey, Poppy, it's not my birthday. My birthday's in April, man. Thought you knew that. We had a whole nother stream. I made a comment. New York, that girl in New York is taking it to literally, and she's trolling. So I said, why not people say Merry Christmas? Why can't people still say Happy New Year's? I say, you know what? Just to be petty, I'm gonna still say Merry Christmas to people, even on my birthday in April. So she decided to say, you know what? I'm gonna keep telling Grey Pill happy birthday. So that's what she's been doing since the last stream. So it's not my birthday. My birthday's in April. I celebrate the whole month. All right.
We're not allowed to say Happy New Year. I knew we weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas, but
because I did a chill stream, right? And I was watching all these little collective of Instagram videos. I was like sending myself, and I thought it'd be kind of cute just to react to it and whatever. So one of them was in that I was like, hey, happy holiday, happy new year. And then I said, you know what? I've been asking this question last year. How long does it take for you to stop saying happy new year? Because most people will say it in the duration of the month of January. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. So some person said, now is the time to stop saying it. I say, you know what? I'm going to give it a week to stop saying it. After the week, I'm going to stop saying it. But if somebody said to me, I'm going to be polite, still say it. And then I say, you know what? Screw it. Christmas too. When Christmas come, everybody be merry. Is it Merry Christmas all year round? I'm going to say Merry Christmas on my birthday. And then New York was like, screw it. Happy birthday, Grey Pill. And I was like, it ain't my birthday. So she's just been saying it all ever since. So.
Are you Aries or a Taurus then?
I'm a Taurus.
Me too.
Front line. See, there you go.
I'm an
Ah,
April.
there you
it's
go.
making. Oh, you know what? It's making so much sense now. It making so much sense because like
We've always clicked like that.
it's not even that too. It's like because like just you and Sarah's like right because I remember when I messaged both y'all. You had this. This is my friend. I protect my friend, but you wasn't mean about it. The way you conversate, like I'm trying to feel you out a bit because this is my friend, and I'm like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And as far as this space goes, because Ruby can handle stuff like 8 other people, but I think Mark is the only one, the mod here. He's the only one I would just like react to for some reason because he's just always been like polite, always been respectful on panels. And then one time he told me something about somebody said something like about him, like he's an op or he just. I'm like, no, that's not Mark. Mark just like to be on panels and have conversations. Mm-hmm. I got so offended when Marcus told me that for no reason. So, yeah,
I think we're very real people. I'll say that.
Too laid back, so laid back.
Laid back but loyal.
Yeah, laid back loyal.
Once we choose a person, like you've been chosen, and you're ours for the rest of your
life. Oh yeah. These knuckleheads up here too. They're there. Poppy, he's another one. Everybody do their old thing. I see all these little weird conversations, like like the recent one, like you're like I don't judge people where they go hang out. Well, I think Poppy and Marcus, other guys, it's those type of friends I have. They'll go places and do things, knowing I don't like them 100%, but I'm not gonna judge you because you're doing it. Then they'll come back and sit there and laugh and chop it up. So,
heck yeah,
that's how it goes. Oh, that's cool.
See, that's what we needed. We needed Sarah this whole time because the first time, the reason why me and Ashley didn't kill each other on that other podcast was because Sarah, she stepped in the middle and she fixed it and she was like, I think what you're saying is this, Ruby, and I think what Ashley's saying is this, and then like she was translating.
Ruby,
yeah, but that's Lily Sarah. Like even on her dating one, she would just add insert really value and clarity to a conversation, and then I'm sitting there looking, and I don't know the other women. I don't want to, but just the optics. I'm like, yeah, they're just here for the clout. Yeah, this is here, and it shows like this genuine perspective with Sarah. Like, hey, I'm just adding to a conversation. I see what you're doing, so yeah, but yeah.
Are you a Sagittarius, Ruby, by chance?
No, I'm a Leo.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I know.
That was my ex. That's literally why it didn't work out.
No, I'm fucking with you.
The scales is all over the place.
But you're like Leo's, and Ashley's a Sagittarius, and like you're both very like fiery, just have to be alpha, have to be in charge, have to have the last word and things like that. Whereas I'm more of the I'll take a back seat. I'll sit on the bench. I'm good. I'm good.
You know what my mother used to call me? My mother used to call me a straight monk. When stuff be popping up, I'd be sitting there like, let all this fire just dial down for a minute. Then I come in. She's like, you're a monk. I was like, hey, but it is, Ma. It is.
I'm a switch hitter because my Mercury's in Virgo, but
oh Lord,
no, I'm a switch hitter. When I'm ready, I'm defending a point
Virgo
through everyone. I got to get my point in, but I'm also very like I don't want to step into that noise right now. I'm just doing me. I'm chilling over here. So it depends.
All right, fair enough. And yes, I am a bitch. I'll take that position. I'll take the position.
Because we started off as friends, and this is like I said, I was never attracted to them.
A lot of relationships start like that today, even though I discourage it. They say I'm not attracted to them, but it'll grow, and I'm always like, yeah, it can happen.
It can, but
the odds of it. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
well.
That's why I'm like, I do understand and I get it, but I like 2 of my best friends are women, and not once. Everyone keeps saying like, "Oh, you're gonna do," and I'm like, "It's not."
You never know. Yeah, life is a long time.
Are your friends attractive?
Yes.
Like they look good.
But attractive is subjective.
But like just like generally speaking, like your girls like look good, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you was just lonely, like it's been a moment, you didn't want to beat it. You know what I mean? Or like,
there's a special exemption. I'm non-monogamous, so I never have to worry about intimacy.
Well, that's why.
Well, so you getting played. So you ain't worried about you, man.
He's like getting it, so he doesn't need it. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you was lonely, you wasn't getting it though, and your friend was throwing it.
I guess that's a different situation. That's what I'm saying.
You belong over here.
Come to the dark side.
If he's not attracted, if we're not attracted,
it's just friends.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot going on there.
Max in her ball gown for no damn reason. You know, I don't even know what the hell they were saying. I was so focused on her dress. Why is she wearing that?
I was thinking
ridiculous.
She's red pill, Ruby. She's red pill.
Bro.
And the second was okay. I gotta harp on her.
On the calendar too.
I don't know. It is
Calendar. It just came out.
So is she?
I don't know. She looks familiar. I looked at it earlier today because I was pulling it for the news, but she very well could be.
Well, I know she had the debate with Destiny and then Alex, and then she stood him up last time because of the encounter with Destiny. But I just know her. I just know her as a red pill grifter. Like it's not getting past me.
What's her name though?
Janelle Gordon, and I spelt it right, Janelle, since she was mad at Alex about not spelling your name right. So I because it's actually in the channel since it got taken down twice. Now it's back up. So your name is spelled correctly. There you go. She's tagged.
Well, she might be on the calendar. I don't know, but there were some beautiful women on there. I'm not gonna lie. So, but I don't know what she's got going on.
Fair enough. But as far as the conversation goes with the guy, because he was pretty much making a statement to the dude with the lawn care, was like, hey, just because you in, I guess, a poly relationship, meaning that he got more options to get laid, but at the same time does attraction matter. So we'll throw the look factor out, and it's just the eternal attraction, how you treat somebody. That can happen also. But again, if it's your friend, then it's not really your friend if this attraction is there. So no matter how you sway it, that is my take on it. I don't know. If y'all have agree or disagree, then I'll get back to the video.
I mean, I agree, obviously.
Okay.
Moving on.
A straight, very monogamous man. I grew up mainly being friends with women. I felt more comfortable in those spaces. I felt more comfortable talking to women. I've never been like a bro, rah, 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 that type of thing. So I think men and women absolutely can be. I have friends that I've had since elementary school, middle school. We talk very often and we talk about all these things, and it has never affected that aspect of the relationship because we're men and women. We're just people, and people can be friends. It's not.
Completely agree.
Yeah. So my perspective.
That was my whole point right there. Just in a nutshell.
Well, I think that dude has a lot of feminine energy going on. So of course he would blanket into the females. I mean, what man would be threatened by him to begin with? If I was a dude, I mean, I'm not even a dude and I'm not threatened by him. So
She with the petty. All right, I got you on, Sarah.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll with the petty on that one. Like he was very feministic. He's probably more feminine than I am, to be quite honest. And I don't even mean that as like a slight to him necessarily, but if I was a dude and he was hanging out with my girlfriend, like I wouldn't be threatened either. That would be like her hanging out with one of the girls.
If he wasn't gay, I would find him a threat because some majority of women love that sensitive man.
But like, okay, here's the thing. Let's be real, right? Most people who are talking about this and saying guys and girls can't be friends. I would never let my man be a friend with the girls or whatever. They're not talking about all women and they're not talking about all men. Let's be real. They're not. They're talking about a particular type of man who's attractive. He's 6 feet tall. He's got the muscles. He's suave. He's got money, right? It's someone who's a threat, right? Just like when we're talking about like with women, right? You're talking about beautiful women, right? If I was, and I'm not trying to listen, no disrespect to any of the traits that I add to myself just here. But if I was 300 pounds overweight, right? And my facial symmetry was entirely off. And, I had like a beard growing in and, I had no boobs, but a lot of tummy, right? And that's what you saw. No one would be sitting here going, Ruby, there's no way that you have male friends who don't want to sleep with you. No one would argue that. Nobody. Everyone would be like, yeah, but okay. And they would make a different point, right? It's because people look at me and they say, perceptually, I think you look physically attractive. So therefore, obviously all your male friends want to sleep with you, right? And it's just like, that's what people do. And it's like, because they can't separate these two things, or they don't look at all women or all men as just like people, then they can't even imagine a world where they wouldn't feel that threat or that disrespect or that fear because of someone like that coming into their significant other's orbit, and whatever. Whereas I don't feel that fear. I don't have that issue, right? It's a non-issue to me. To me, whether or not my husband has female friends or female acquaintances or female people he works with or female best friend, like, it doesn't matter. If you're gonna cheat, you're gonna cheat. You do not need my permission, nor do you need to have female friends to do so. So I don't find it threatening at all. So I don't know.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, your male friends, do you go and hang out with them individually, like one-on-one? Let's say whether it's grab dinner, go play pool, talk on the phone for a couple hours, or something to that nature. Like, what is the dynamic of your relationship with your male friends, and how are you applying per se?
I mean, it depends, right? So, like, in general, and I'm going to be clear, I'm not talking about the last, say, 5 years of my life, since like a year or two before COVID, because I became very lazy and I also have a lot of medical issues. So I don't like to leave my house. I don't even like to get out of bed. Like, this, just to get me sitting in the chair, was a lot of work. So, but before that, so we're going to talk about before that period of time. The way that I generally was like, if you want my time and attention because you're going through problems in your life or whatever, so you need a listening ear, I will show up. I'm not talking about men, I'm talking about in general for my friends. I'll show up for you one-on-one. Generally, I wasn't the person who was looking for something to do a lot. So generally, that means I was showing up to group activities for things, right? So, hey, we're all going to the bar. We're all going to this. We're all going to that, right? And I would show up for some of those things, or I would show up again one-on-one. Yes, if a friend needed my advice, my counsel, my, listening ear, whatever, I would show up for that one-on-one. It wasn't like oh, hey, I'm bored. Do you want to go play pool one-on-one or what? I didn't do that with my female friends. I don't have the patience or the attention span or the desire to interact with one person all damn night long. Like, it's a lot for me because I am really actually quite introverted. So I tend to hang out in group environments. So would my significant other come with me to these things? Sometimes he had his own things to do with his own friends or whatever. Sometimes he just didn't feel like going out. If it was a private thing, though, like, hey, I want to talk about my relationship problems or my parent dying or something, then no, I would go by myself, obviously, because that requires my one-on-one attention and support and care. So yeah.
So could we say like 90% of your hanging out with male friends is in groups, based on that's what I'm gathering based on what you're saying, is like you would go out, like we're all going out to do something?
Well, no, because you're clarifying, you're separating male friends, whereas I'm saying that
it's just a big group, male and female.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that in general, I don't hang out with people one-on-one unless they need me for something. Like, as in, you really need Ruby in particular to hear you out and let you cry or something, and then I give you advice. Other than that, generally, I was never really someone to hang out one-on-one with people. It doesn't matter male or female. So what I'm saying is, though, for the incidences of hanging out one-on-one, it wasn't more females I would hang out with one-on-one or whatever, or who would come by one-on-one because they needed my advice, they needed counsel, something was happening, they needed support or whatever. I had just as many men, maybe more male encounters that way, just because I have more male friends than female friends. But yeah, so that's why I wouldn't separate it that way and say that, because it's just not accurate,
Okay, but like if you were to choose to go out, ideally it would be in a group of friends, but ideally if somebody is in need of your friendship, it's one-on-one.
If you're needed, like, so, like, let's say I don't know, your spouse cheated on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Generally, I mean, some people like a big giant group in that scenario, but again, I tend to hang out with more extroverted introverts, and those people tend to like one-on-one, right? So it's like, whether it's my male friend or my female friend, generally, hey, I need to talk to you or whatever, that's going to be male friend or female friend, I'm going to show up. And if you need me to sit on your driveway in my car back in the days I used to smoke. So
fair enough.
you know, going to Tim Hortons back and forth, that's a coffee place for people who don't know. It's like Dunkin' Donuts. You know, going back and forth, getting coffee after coffee, like literally all night long, sitting on your driveway, drinking coffee and smoking so we could talk it out and you don't feel like you're going to jump off a bridge or something as soon as I leave. Great, we'll do that. And I never had an issue. My significant others never had an issue, whatever, because like that's like showing up for my brother, you know, in his time of need. So, you know what I mean? Or, hey,
Yeah.
I need help planning something, or like, you know, those are generally though, like, again, it's a hard sell to get Ruby out of the house because I don't care to leave my house. Like I really like it here. So
okay. I mean, I don't disagree. Like if a male friend called me right now and needed to talk for an hour, you know, I'd be ready and willing to have that conversation, but I would also be talking to my boyfriend shortly after and say, oh my gosh, such and such called. They were going through such a hard time, XYZ.
Keep
you
in
know?
the loop.
well, he would already know, obviously. I mean, I live with the man, so if I'm gonna leave, he would know where I'm going.
If my boyfriend was here in that moment and that friend called, I would gladly have that conversation with him sitting right next to me as well. Like it wouldn't be a problem. I want to make sure I understand the context of your friendship and what you're doing in those friendships, you know, and how it's applied. That's all. I just want to.
My husband knows everything I do, everyone I speak to. He has the passwords to all of my everything. In fact, my email and a bunch of stuff go to his phone. Like we have all of our accounts logged into both of our phones because it just makes it easier because whose phone is right here when you want to check an email or check something really quickly. So like it's not, there's like literally beyond a non-factor. I'm very open and honest, period. So it literally, there's nothing, like, not only is there nothing to hide, I literally don't, he has access to everything I have. He has the way, like his thumbprint, even though he says that it's not in there, it is, he just doesn't use it properly. But his thumbprint is even in my phone to be able to open it. Like
that might be they sign. That might be the first red flag for the divorce right there. She disagreed with the husband. You're done. You're done, Ruby. You're done.
I know. But no, like my
don't
friends come over here too and hang out. And if that was an issue, my friend has come. I have male friends who have come over and slept over, like at my house while we were here too. Right? I've had a male friend sleeping on my couch when I lived in my basement apartment. So this was actually before I got married. But this was a friend, like me and my at the time boyfriend lived together. And I only in a one bedroom, and my friend was having major issues with his significant other, who was also my friend, but she was on drugs at the time, and it was wild. Anyway, point is, he needed somewhere to be because she was being psychotic, and he was sleeping on my couch for like months. And that was also fine. So I mean, like, you know, and we were there. Now, of course, I'm the stay-at-home person. I didn't really, you know, I'm not the one going to a job, so that involves a lot of obviously trust and, you know, belief and whatever. My then boyfriend was not bothered at all because he knew and understood, like, there was literally no risk. There was literally this is like a brother. Like, this is not, no.
New York says, I call my good male friends my nutty buddies, and I don't F my buddies.
Nutty buddies?
Yo, she is a unique one.
What?
When I had like a little bit of this conversation, and she said that she spent the night with her male best friend in the same bedroom with the nightie on, and they didn't do anything. Unless Jesus is there, I'm gonna take her word for it. But you know, baby Jesus got to talk to me on that one. But yeah, Wes, do you have anything to add before I get to the video? yeah, there you go with undies. See, look at that, she said it. Wes, you have anything to add before we get to the video, good sir, or no?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. I said, no, we can just keep going.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah, your mic is good, but it does just sounds like there's an echo around the edge of it. I don't know, but your mic does sound fine otherwise.
Is from kind of a Christian worldview. I believe that, you know, God created man and woman to come together in love and attraction, to be one. And so from that standpoint, I believe that there is just a natural attraction. I have had some extremely close friends that were girls, and that attraction just developed because it wasn't just physical, but it was love. It was getting to see how they were around their family, around kids, what they do for work, what they do for school, developing that relationship. So from my perspective, that attraction develops because I wasn't just looking at her from just, you know, she's just a body. Yeah, she's just a piece of meat.
Yeah.
You develop that emotional
Yeah.
attraction. That emotional
Which is why I'm over here. Yes, joining this dark
Can you not?
side.
I would ask.
This is not a dark side, you idiot. I'm sorry.
Because I completely agree with you on that. From
Can
the
you
same
love-
Christian standpoint, 100%.
Wait, hold up.
All right. Anybody have any thoughts on that one? Because I don't want to play this commercial.
No, but I just really love that girl's outfit. The one in the red, like I think it's like a boosty. I don't know what the hell you would call a corset.
Oh, you better be joking, because when it comes to these people, I get so triggered. Are you joking?
Why? I love her outfit. That red thing with and she's wearing like the black skirts. Like she likes like Tim Burton and stuff. Yo, that
No, she's trying to look like what's that? She's trying to do the persona of the red pill thing. Everything is red for her, but at the same
Oh, not
time,
Janelle.
okay, who we talking about? Oh, the other chick with red. Yeah, I like her outfit.
Yeah,
with the short skirt.
No.
With a
I
short
already
skirt.
made fun of the ball gown. Like, what the hell is she wearing? No.
My bad. I apologize. I'm a little. I got triggered for that.
I'm talking about the chick with the red hair, and then she's
Yeah,
got
I like her.
Kind of bustier thing on
Yeah,
it. She got the little. I
outfit.
love that outfit. I just think it's so like.
Okay,
if
cool.
I was gonna be a girly girl, I'd be that kind of girly girl.
All right,
I
cool.
love her.
I thought it was gonna be a conversation.
No, God.
Yeah, her. Yeah, her.
Oh,
yeah.
love that.
Yeah, this is a whole style right here. I don't know what this one doing.
Yeah, no, she looks ridiculous. And you know what? I'm sorry, I just gotta say this while we're looking right here. Okay, she's fat. Okay, this is fat. So from her talking, and I'm not saying for all women, I'm saying for her based on her rhetoric. So she's fat. Okay, but she's got a lot of boob. And so somehow or another, she thinks, number one, that she's passable. But by her own rhetoric, she's trash. Number one. Number two, though, look at what she's doing. She's so desperate to try to paint herself and put her boobs on display and whatever, because she has literally nothing else to offer. And so as soon as her husband no longer wants to sleep with her because her husband no longer sees her as tight and sexy and hot and whatever, then you know what? She's going to get dropped, even though he's not even the financial supporter, because she literally has nothing else to offer. And that's why she has the perspective she does. No, I'm not saying that that's why Sarah does, because Sarah's obviously young and beautiful still. I'm talking specifically about Janelle. Okay, good.
And my friend Sarah had abs. There you go. You see how nice and politely I said that?
And my boobs are covered.
Exactly, because you're not desperate for attention like some people.
I don't need any. It's good.
Right? Amazing. Look at that. They do make clothes that cover boobs.
Off your first subscription purchase. Thanks so much.
I would date someone I do not find physically attractive.
All right. To the chat and the panel, I would date someone I do not find physically attractive.
Man, you were there when I had this conversation last time.
Well, I have. So, I mean, I'm not, I always been saying I'm an equal opportunity employer. Big, fat, skinny, yellow, black, whatever. I don't care. If we vibe, we vibe. So, yes, I have dated somebody that society has deemed unattractive. Yes. But so I have. Wes, yes, no, maybe so.
There has to be some sort of attraction there. I'm not saying it has to be a model of any sort.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be physical.
No, there needs to be a physical attraction.
It needs to be?
Yeah.
There needs to be a physical attraction. There needs to
I'm
be
glad you said that, because somebody brought something up on the video, but I'll let they bring it up because it just had me think of something. All right, fair enough.
Well, yeah, I obviously have, but I don't care. I'm demisexual. So to me, I don't even get sexually attracted to people who are physically attractive just from the look of you. I get sexually turned on after an emotional connection has been made, and only after a certain emotional level of emotional bonded connection has been made. So your looks don't really factor into whether or not I would feel sexual attraction.
Well, I know some people, because we did cover that a little bit, because I know some people actually just not the physical attract, they get it, and this is what women said. I hear this a lot. A lot of women is attracted by men who has, the brain and very smart and articulate and how they carry themselves. Like, wow, they're a wealth of knowledge. So a lot of women get attracted by men by his brain. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. I think physical attraction can come in a couple different ways. Like, obviously, if you've met somebody for the first time and you're, I don't know, out at a bar, at a grocery store or something, and somebody catches your eye, that is a physical attraction. And that leads to, let's talk and see if it goes further, right? Mm-hmm. And that's one way. Now, physical attraction is not everything, but then there's the other relationship dynamic where you can start as being friends, co-workers, or in a group, like a social group, or I don't know, you're working on houses for humanitarian purposes and things of that nature, and you meet somebody and you start talking and you find you have the same interests, and then you weren't attracted to them to begin with, but the more they keep talking, the more attractive they become. I think attractiveness it's truly, beauty is the eye of the beholder, and like, people can say, oh, do you have a type? What's your type? But like, even I know, looking in hindsight, all the men that I've dated, like, there is no type. There is no type in terms of like body type or attractive level type, but there's a type of man that I'm attracted to. There's a type of personality I'm attracted to. There's a type of person and how they treat me. That's what I become attracted to. So if he happens to be hot, it's a bonus.
Yeah, I had to relearn that last year for me, like just the type part. And when I was seeing what little types, because I feel like there's different attractions for me. When I saw that one particular attraction, I was like, that's instantly a red flag. So I just pretty much, when I see that, I know. So it's helped me learn a little bit more about myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can pin it down on like what you've dated in past years, but there's also, to me, intellectual conversation is an attractive concept for me. Like, I am totally turned on by it. Totally, I'm excited. It's fun. It's like, if I can sit and talk to you all night, you probably have me, at least a little bit more than anybody else would. So like, that's one piece of it. And then just being a man, like a manly man, like I'm attracted to a manly man, but he doesn't have to be a Fabio. Like, he doesn't have to be Vin Diesel. He doesn't have to be Channing Tatum. That's to me is like, that's just whatever. That's
Channing Tatum's gay.
No, he's not.
Everybody says that.
He is not. He's not at all. Don't come for my boy.
He definitely doesn't know how to act.
Yes, he does. Channing Tatum is wonderful.
He's beautiful.
He's one of the only white boys I'm like, ah, man.
Oh,
you
Lord.
And me, bro. You and me.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry. And she's picking the dress just to walk. Okay, I'm done. It gonna be more. It might be more. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Wait, you want to say something first?
I do it all the time because there's a lot you don't, just from the physicalness. It's like sometimes there's some people that I learned just by not going in based off physical attraction. I end up being attracted to them just because of their personality and looks.
See, he can't make up his mind on anything he say or do.
Can be deceiving. I could say the same on the opposite end, where I thought someone was absolutely attractive, but then I got to know them and they were the worst person I could have possibly been on a date with.
I feel like you can definitely.
He is so true, and that's what I was saying to Sir earlier. And this is not a absolute. This is my opinion based on my past experiences, maybe within the past 3 years. But I came up to a conclusion: the more attractive a chick get, the more crazy that chick is. That just been my whole thought process ever since. If she just like, she good looking, I'm like, that chick crazy.
Do you remember
that chick is crazy?
Do you remember the video of the guy that drew the scale where, like, if she's on a level of 10 in hotfulness, like she's on a level of 10 of crazy, you want to be right around the 5 or 6 range because she's normal.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I like a sarcastic, and this person I like witty, sarcastic one. I think chopping up with last stream and Vegas, like, for example, if we go to a cash register and like, the person like either doing something weird or you smell something, we'll keep it to ourselves. Then by the time we get in the car, we sit there laughing, Googling with each other. I like that type of relationship. But somebody just mean and is nasty for some reason. And I'm like, I just equate to looks on that one. Like, the hotter she is, so much baggage just went God eternally. So yeah, that's the trend.
Now, let's not negate, there are wonderful females that are a beautiful girl next door look, and they are still smoking 10. Like, let's not negate that there are the exceptions to the rule.
I know this is my personal experience. I'm just taking it. Hey, yeah, we can clarify.
It looks like a Barbie doll.
Yes.
And she acts like one too. She's probably crazy.
Yes. Yes.
This is why I thrive on being a 6. I love the idea that I'm like 6 level. Like, we're good. we're smooth. I can be a 7 or 8, you know, when I want to turn it up and go to the 9s and all that. Like I can be smoking, but like I love riding that 6th level because we're chill, we're cool, no crazy, you know, it's good.
I agree.
I have a lot of crazy, so I'm okay with that.
Well, you taking so get you got one to deal with your crazy, so you good. He chose.
Exactly. Hey, listen, I like used to have these conversations with myself in my head all the time. Like, would you rather this or this? Like, would you rather, I don't know, be blind or deaf, or would you rather whatever? And so if I had to choose between being really beautiful or being really, like, you know, being really sane, I would still choose being really beautiful, to be fair.
All right, fair enough. Wes, any thoughts on Ruby admitting that she's a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, or your assumptions for all these years?
Well, I mean, that's why you invite her here.
Right?
All right, fair enough.
Get them clicks, likes, and views up, y'all. Hit the like button if you think Ruby's a little bit crazy. Go ahead.
Not be attracted to somebody initially, and then as you get
Yeah.
I feel like at that point, like once I like someone's personality romantically, I probably also think they're attractive.
I would say that for some, you know, it's not a reflection on your character, how weighted appearance versus personality might be. It differs from person to person. I think that we have our preferences, and I think that a certain element of physical attractiveness is fitness, health, hygiene, and that reflects on usually competence, responsibility, and dedication. But I do see it as important, although not the whole package by any means.
Right. It's the very first impression you get of most people.
Yes.
Because like you meet someone and you can't hear their voice first thing most of the time. You just see them and you're like, oh, that person's attractive. Or like, I don't see myself with that person because I don't find them attractive. And that's totally fine. Not everybody's attracted to everybody. But me personally, I would not be with someone I don't find attractive.
So I got to give context.
All right, before he gets in, I'll get his context. Everybody agree, disagree with what's been said so far?
Here's a thought process. You know, my grandmother had some really great advice, and she always used to say, if there's one thing about that person that you don't like when you first start dating, then later on when the relationships gets like heavier, all it takes is for them to piss you off one time, and that one little thing that bothered you about them would escalate and grow exponentially. So like physical attractiveness is one thing, but like if you don't have the personality traits, the characteristics, the demeanor that you're attracted to, like truly attracted to, then like everything goes down the drain later on. So if you're just physically attracted to somebody and there's all those little things that they do that annoy the crap out of you, then it's going to get even more annoying later when you're mad at them.
I agree.
So like physical attraction, it only goes so far. You know, like you got to have the small things nailed down. You got to enjoy their flaws. You have to like love their flaws or love their ugliness per se.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree because I just want to say this because just for the chat and people in the replay, your attraction is going to fade down the line. So people just need to think about that. Who you looked physically in your teens, your late teens, your early 20s, your late 20s, 30s, that's going to fade. And yes, people say, hey, well, I work out, I do this. That's true too. But just understand how the physical aspect is going to go down as ages go every 10 years, right? So people need to look at that. Now, I also tell people, in my opinion, date with your intent. Is your intent is like, hey, if you're saying right now you're looking for a marriage, then that's what you need to be dating for the intent of marriage. If you're saying, hey, I just want a casual date, I don't want them to serious, then you're pretty much going to get what you get that one. But I would say just be safe with who your partner is. You know what I'm saying? So just understand those dynamics. I've heard friends say, hey, well, I want my person, but I don't want to be, legally married. And that's fine too. But understand the dynamic of that. So I would say, again, date with the intent, but looks will fade over time. Right. And you can do all the boob surgeries and all the plastic surgery you want to. Hey, you might have a hurt back. You might have some knee problems. You might have all these other ailments, and it shows with age. So just keep that in mind. All right. Keep that in mind. Wes, any thoughts?
Well, pretty much, I think we're all pretty much in agreement there that there needs to be more than just physical attraction. Physical attraction only goes so far.
Mm-hmm.
But it needs to be everything, because I've talked to women that are just extremely physically attractive, but they open their mouth, there is just nothing going on, and I want nothing to do with it. But if a woman is 600 pounds and has the best personality ever, she's still 600 pounds. Nothing's happening.
Bruh. All right, I feel like a petty shot, but I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. And back to the video.
You're right. If I'm meeting you in person and you don't look good, then I'm over there with y'all. But if I'm meeting you through a dating app and I get catfished, but you're kind of cool, right? then, because I met a girl that had nice pictures. But then when I seen her in person, she was a little bit bigger than I prefer, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Well, everyone can have nice pictures today.
Now, there's nothing wrong with being a bit bigger, but for preference sake, I wasn't really feeling it. But her personality is what got me. And then I started entertaining it. So, right, even though I got catfished, I actually considered, taking it seriously.
And I also date, like, sometimes I really try this because it's led to some great people I've got to meet along the way. I will date outside of my preferences just to see what that's like.
If you're not,
that was the point I'm trying to get to where he pretty much answered from West. So what he said, the whole catfishing thing. So you can pretty much look a certain way, be a certain way. But if it's like, I just like the Love is Blind, because that was a whole crazy show that's been out running like 5 seasons so far. They pretty much got a theory. They got a experiment theory is like, hey, we don't see each other. We don't know what we look like. We're not describing what we look like, but we're having the connection bond of it. So love is truly blind. So they have all these conversations, stuff like Sarah said, like, hey, do you meet my requirements? Do I meet your requirements? Like, what do we have our expectations of? And then once we get to that point, that's like, okay, the guy will choose to make the proposal. Once you make the proposal, then from there, now it's become the physical aspect. So now the inner bond that we had doesn't match up with the attractionness of it. So that's pretty much the whole theory. So, yeah.
But I'll also add on to that, though. You also have to have like chemistry. And what I mean by chemistry is like the pheromonal portion of it, right? So somebody's scent that you're picking up on, and, a man's testosterone and a woman's estrogen and the blend of it, and a kiss and things like that. Like those things are added into it. And those are physical features. It's not physical attractiveness per se, but it's physical features that are pulling you in even more. Like, for instance, my boyfriend, just his scent alone is enough for me to get excited. Like, I just love being around him. If we met through just a screen wall and only had a conversation, and that was how we knew each other, and that was it, and we didn't actually look at each other, talk to each other, smell each other, or anything like that, or touch, anything to that degree, like, I think that also makes a difference, because pheromones can play a very vital role in your chemical attractiveness to somebody. I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but it's an additive to it, a natural, normal additive to it.
Wes, Ruby?
Yep.
Happy New Year, Marcus.
Has to be an actual reaction going on, which is so more than just physical, but that actual reaction between your emotional and your I guess spiritual, who you are, has to be more things going on than just attraction on one level.
So they checking all your boxes, because I remember I was on a lot of the male platforms, and this was my whole thing. I was throwing at the women's face, so actually the same thing. So if she is checking all your box, but you haven't seen her physically, would you still approach her?
I
don't know if you heard. Did you? If she checked all your boxes, but the attractionness level isn't there, would you still approach her?
It just kind of depends on what's going on. So a lot of people have a lot of different preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Really, they preference themselves out of relationships. So a lot of their preferences are way too strict or contradictive. So I try to be very open-minded about who I'm getting to know, and I want to just actually get to know someone. Now, physically, there's certain things that are okay. It's okay if someone's a little bit overweight. That's an issue that most people want to have fixed. Now, if I'm talking to a woman who is rather overweight and she's saying that she's proud of it, psychologically, there's way too much baggage going on. There's nothing worth trying to get into there.
See, I think like to me, right? Number one, a lot of people focus on the wrong things. They put so much weight on a bunch of stuff that cannot carry a relationship. Especially cannot carry a long-term relationship, something like a marriage with all the complications that life is going to throw at you. That this is why we have as high of a divorce rate as we do. It's still better than it was. It's not actually at 50% anymore, which people don't seem to realize. It's gotten better. And the reason why it's gotten better actually is because people stopped flying into marriage at very young ages for very superficial reasons because society said so. And now they're starting to make, more informed decisions. And I think part of the issue is that, you can't just dismiss really key factors, important things, right? So if you are now, people say, well, like religion, for example, but there are people who stay happily married for 50 years and one of them's an atheist, right? So that's the value might not necessarily be the religion. It might be certain things around religion, right? And as long as your significant other is willing to respect that and give you a level of support that you need, then you're kind of good. I think what people don't realize really fractures like relationships, fractures marriages, has more to do with the way you treat each other, and the way you treat yourself, and I'm going to say the disrespect. Because there's a lot of aspects of disrespect that, people introduce into their marriage on a day-to-day basis or into their relationships on a day-to-day basis. And when you're introducing all that negativity, people start shutting down all of the lines of communication, and then the sexiness, and then all the positive things you used to like about the relationship are gone because of the way you're treating each other. Right. And then then you start doing stuff that you're going to end up regretting later that makes you hate each other. Right. And then you're like, well, I can't be with this person. We have nothing in common. I can't even believe I ever thought they were attractive. And most of that has nothing to do with what they look like, what they smell like, all the things that were wrong before. I think everyone's kind of hit on that. But to me, based on, like, for example, you can look at, what is his first name? John Gottman. I think that's his name. Him and his wife, they do like these like clinics where they basically study married people, and they're really good now at predicting relationships that will stay together and ones that will break apart. And it's based on not on anything else, not on how attractive they are or how attractive they are to each other, sex life, whatever. It's really based on certain key factors of the way you treat each other. Right? Because if you're being treated really, really well by someone that you love and you're attracted to and whatever, and it makes you want to reciprocate that, and vice versa. And that can make you really attracted to someone maybe you didn't find that attractive at first. And then they're going to, go above and beyond, and maybe them going above and beyond gets them to earning a lot of money, which then can give you the lifestyle. You're like, oh, I really didn't want to live poor, but now look how hard. And so, it's this back and forth. There's a reciprocity in marriage that I think a lot of people kind of overlook in favor of a bunch of surface crap that you're not going to care about and is not going to, serve your marriage in 5 years even.
Can I add on as well, like to the catfish concept? Like back in the summer before I met my boyfriend, I went on a lot of fun little dates here and there, a lot of Tinder, Bumble, whatever. And the number one thing I heard when I showed up for date number one every time was, "You look like your picture. I can't believe it, like your picture." And I was like, is this a thing? Is this, and they're like, I've never been on a first date with somebody off of here where they actually look like their picture. Their picture's usually like 10 years old. And I'm like, seriously? Like
100%. That's how it works.
And I felt bad. Here I am thinking like I'm being genuine and innocent and kind, and like took recent photos to put on my profile, and I did all this work, but then like to find out that all of these other women are cheating the system. I'm like, damn it. Like,
they're not winning anything though.
Huh?
All these women, cheating the system, they're not winning anything.
They're not winning, and these guys, obviously, like, I asked them, well, what did you do? And they're like, well, I wanted to be nice. So I finished the date, whether it was finishing a coffee, having a meal, whatever, but they ended it after that. They're like, hey, and I'm like, well, did you ask them about the issue? Some of them said yes. Like, yeah, I brought it up. I specifically said, like, your picture looks significantly different from what you look like right now.
Yeah.
A 40-pound difference, or things of that nature. And, you know, the conversation would happen and the girl would explain and yada, yada, yada. But like at the end of the day, this is a problem. This is a serious problem. And I don't understand how you guys do it. I mean, I've never run into the issue on my end, like in terms of like when I was on Tinder and like their pictures were their pictures and I showed up and I saw them and I knew it was them. But like to me, I feel like every guy I had a date with had a story of a catfish, and it was every single date they had been on, and that's why I was the refreshing face, you know, like, oh my God, you look like your picture. So
I just only had one, but it wasn't that deep. But it comes down to what Wes said, like when you just see after the fact, or I did entertain because I was like, okay, well, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they open mouth and it's lost, I'm like, okay, it adds up to the pic. That's where my mind went.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just long time ago did the whole dating app thing, which I'm not against it either. It's like if you got the time, you got the time.
Right.
But yeah, but I never, even friends that was on it, I never heard them have those conversations. They just come across one, they're like, all right, there's another one. They'll just move on from it and have a yet. But it's a good thing that there are some women that like, hey, let's have the genuine conversation. Let's go. Because they have some stories too. I actually met one, one actually became a friend. She didn't look me up just for the date. She just said, hey, I read your profile. You sound this and that third. What is this profile? What is this profile to you, if you don't mind me asking? I was like, hey, it's a whole fest. I just literally told her, don't go on this platform. All I hear is about women with profiles of saying of their bad experience of the guys. And if you read the full profile, that's the only way I'll give you a chance, because now I know you're actually paying attention. Like I just told, like, don't go there. Just get out the door. You know, you look attractive, they'll come to you. Just be you, and that's it. So yeah, it's a whore fest over there.
Men lie about different things, for the record. Men tend to lie about their height and about their bank account.
Both sides, it was lying. I was reading the profile was killing me because I like to read people's comments in their profile. I would just read it. One chick was like, yo, she did, which is fine. She didn't want to date one race. And then and I thought it was funny because she was like, yeah, they do this. And like both races did that. They one gonna beat you, the other one beat you too. I seen it. Shout out to the rednecks out there. They're gonna lay hands on you. They're gonna lay hands on you. So it was a whole bunch of weird stuff in there. But
yeah, that happens in every social level too.
Yeah, like, everywhere.
I mean, it doesn't matter how much money they make, they can still beat you.
Oh yeah, they're gonna still beat you. So I didn't understand. It was a lot of weird stuff going on there, but yeah,
listen, everyone's lying because to some extent people realize, right, that all of society, including themselves, are really caught up with a bunch of superficial bull that doesn't actually matter and doesn't actually translate into happiness or connectivity. So what they're hoping is that if they lie with these certain parameters at the very beginning, the thing that they know the opposite sex is really into, right? If they lie about those things, they can get their foot in the door. And then if they can just get their foot in the door, then maybe the actual connection y'all make, if it's good enough, if it's strong enough, if it's everything else you're looking for, then it'll be enough for you to dismiss all the lies, right? Which it might actually be for some people, but the catch-22 of that is that then some people are really upset at being lied to, and because you started off the relationship with dishonesty, they don't want any part of it. So you kind of have like a catch-22 where, you know, the dating apps and stuff are keeping people single for a lot of reasons, and I think that's why. It's like this is another big reason why, right? It's like there's way too many options. Every time you swipe left, there's going to be someone else that's going to be shown to you. There's always something better out there, blah blah blah, and people know they've got to lie, they've got to present, let's say, a fake image to some extent, right? Men have to be over 6 feet tall. They've got to make over 6 figures a year, right? They've got to have over 6 inches down there, right? And they'll put that in their bio.
Is that on Hinge? I don't have Hinge. You have it, or you had it?
No Hinge.
Oh, okay. No, I've never used proper dating apps before in my life.
I'm like, who putting that on their profile on a dating app? Like, yeah, what guy? Because Sarah had brought something up like them. Like, who's putting that on they dating profile? That's weird.
Dude, on Hinge,
some dudes apparently make
Bumble,
their blank look bigger or whatnot. I learned this. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, they do. Or they'll just take someone else's picture. Like, people lie, right? Just like women will put the trainers and everything to make their figure look like something it doesn't look like. Like, listen, everyone's lying. Everyone is lying. Everyone.
No, I'm on there honestly.
Yeah, but hold up. Their private, the man's private part. Like, what are you gaining from that? I don't understand that.
What is his women say they don't want to waste their time with under a certain size. So he tries to say, hey,
Oh,
I'm
women-
over a certain size. Come sleep with me.
I'm not
mean,
diving no deeper on that. I'm
yeah,
not. That's
to me is, I mean, it would take a very long time to get to that stage anyways. So that's the last question I would have, honestly. But
that's crazy. All right, back to the video. That's weird.
You're not chasing it. So
As we see more boobs, ladies and gentlemen, more boobs.
again with this, see, she probably
initially attracted to that person and have a strong sexual attraction, then it's not going to work because we know that relationships get worse, not better. That's like, I don't know. I think it's a recipe for a disaster.
Cheating is the worst thing my partner could do to me.
All right, question to the chats and the panel. Cheating is the worst thing my partner can do to me. I am going to agree 1000%. What say ye?
No.
There's some outliers, but for the most part, yeah, this is correct.
Yes,
Okay.
totally just incorrect.
What kind of outliers are you thinking of, sir?
Does nobody remember the Jodi Arias case? Trust me, there's worse things.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I do, but I can't remember who this
She
is.
very viciously murdered her boyfriend.
Okay, so murder is above cheating. Yeah.
Right?
Yes. I think that's a given. I think that's a given.
But if we're talking, that's why I said it's an outlier. But I mean, within just realms of relationship, yeah, cheating is the worst thing ever.
Not to me.
Fair enough.
I will say I was married for almost 10 years, and the reason why we divorced was because he couldn't stop cheating. Like it was a thing. He just
Why
did
do you keep giving him second chances? Like
I gave him the first one that I found out. We tried to work through that, and then the second one happened, and then everything just went, and then a third, and then
He has a habit of
it was a problem. It wasn't a me problem. It was a him problem.
convicted criminal. Just like, dang, I just went to prison for 2 years. Like, come on, man, you ain't reformed yet.
It's definitely a problem, and and again, like it's not like I wasn't trying to work with him. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like I wasn't like after the first time I was just like, get the fuck out, we're done. It was like, okay.
I think you should when you get cheated on, just say, yeah, we're done. Get out of here.
It depends though. It depends because I'm gonna be
I agree with Ashley. Oh my god. I agree with Ashley over Sarah. Wow.
Oh shit. Well, Ashley knows
really, what the hell's wrong with the planet? No,
Ashley knows.
Yep.
Loveless marriage. I'd rather be cheated on than live for years. Okay, yeah,
but no, because that doesn't mean you're gonna be.
What'd she say?
She said, "I'd rather be cheated on than I'd rather be cheated on."
That is so wrong.
Marriage. Yeah,
this statement is so wrong. So very wrong.
And that doesn't mean you're going to be in a loveless marriage. If the person, like I'm with Sarah in this way, I tried because of the children, whatever. I'm sure she went to counseling, did all of the right thing, cross your D's, dot your I's. Then next thing, no, hey, you're still doing it. You're still doing it. Okay, now I got to start making preparations for my exit and the children too. You know what I'm saying? So we can have like some kind of healthy co-parenting situation going on. But then if you still can't do that, you're really cutting yourself off with a short tempo. So it's like, I don't get it. But that's when you just have to find the process, move on, and you luckily, happily find somebody else. But the loveless part is never that. It's
no. So see, you're doing something that Ashley, I'm pretty sure, did not mean or intend, neither did I, which is saying, well, it's either this or this is going to happen in your marriage. No. The question is about, is cheating the worst thing that could happen to a relationship? And I say no. I think, to me, it's actually incredibly low priority for me personally. It always has been. I don't even really care so much about cheating. I care about being lied to. But if I would be with someone, I would rather be with someone who cheated on me frequently, but volunteered the information every time. Like I didn't have to go looking for it or whatever. I didn't have to wonder or worry, because if you cheated on me, you would just tell me. I would much rather be with someone like that than someone who, I don't know, did one thing. It wasn't cheating. It was one thing, but they lied to me about it, hid it. And I would have to discover it myself 15 years later to figure out that you literally, like the last 15 years are built on a lie. I do not like to be lied to. I don't like the dishonesty of it, right? Just like I like to be loved. I like to be cared about. It's incredibly important to me that I feel supported and loved and acknowledged. And so there's a bunch of things that my marriage could lack that I would care about. Him going out and sleeping with someone else is actually not it. Like, I don't care. Like, to me, if he lied to me about that, that would be a problem for me. But like, it would be as much of a problem as if he lied about, I don't know, gambling away $20,000 or something. Like, it's the lying, it's not the cheating that would be a problem for me. So, or the lack of love would be the problem, not the, like, not cheating. I just don't care about the cheating part.
So if he cheated on you, you two would still be good?
Yeah. Because I don't really care. I don't put a high priority on sexual fidelity. It's not huge as an issue to me. Like, again, to me, the dishonesty that often goes with this type of thing for people, that would be the issue. If he came and he volunteered the information to me, that would then be like, oh, okay, shit. Well, if that's what she did, what have we screwed up? Let's take a look at our relationship, what we screwed up, because obviously you didn't feel the need to cheat before. I didn't either. So
then
now we must be in a bad place. We obviously have some stuff we need to fix that you need to fulfill yourself elsewhere, right? Like,
okay. Yeah, okay. So this is my thought process. Same thing. Okay, so because cheating, you have to think before you make these steps. It's like committing a crime. So if you're going to do it and you have the thoughts like, hey, I'm planning to work out the crime, why don't you just be honest and be upfront just to let you know, like, hey, I feel some kind of way, lacking sexual needs or tricks or whatever that we or you not doing before I actually do it. Because if you're taking the steps of cheating, you're lying then. So now it's like, oh, I busted a nut. Now let me go tell her because she might find out.
Well, no, not really, because you're not lying. If you went out, you're at the club. I know you're at the club. I know you're out. I know you're dancing. Then you took that girl back to her house and slept with her, got home at 5 a.m. and said, yeah, I cheated on you. You didn't lie to me. There's no lie anywhere within that whole entire thing. Normally, what ends up happening is people are miserable in relationships. They're not being fulfilled or whatever. And they're talking about it, but in really non-constructive ways. So as a result, no one's really hearing each other, and definitely no one's doing anything to fix it. And then one person, often, maybe both, starts getting that emotional, psychological need met elsewhere by someone who's not their spouse. And so then they normally, actually, before they actually cross any boundaries, tend to go to their spouse and say, again, without explaining properly, like, I need you to be my spouse again. Do this because I really need it. The spouse is normally pissed off on their own, right? And lacking in their own way, and basically says something like that. And so now they're at a standstill. And so the spouse goes out and cheats. Now, this is not me justifying cheating, because again, there's a difference between being in an open relationship and cheating. I would be in an open relationship probably. But I mean, I'm not in one. So just to be clear, right? But at the same time, I guess because of my profession, right, being in psychology, neuroscience, and behavior, you start understanding why people do the things that they do. And it's very unlikely that when someone cheats, the reasons why people say, okay, well, you cheated on me, so I'm going to leave you, I don't vibe with those reasons, right? Like, it doesn't really matter to me. To me, it just seems like there's a problem.
I would just suggest
you would, but I wouldn't. To me, it just seems like there's a problem in the relationship. There's a problem either individually with you as a person, maybe between us, whatever. And I would see that as a sign there's a problem that needs to be worked on. Like, that's the way I see cheating. It doesn't affect me personally. Like, it doesn't make me feel like you violated the sanctity of our marriage and oh my God, like, I don't see it that way.
Just I clarify on the other side though, because when we got married, we're both Catholic. We did pre-Cana, which is an entire, like, it's an entire 6-month event of your relationship that you're going through a counselor and doing all of this pre-work before you're even allowed to get married, in the Catholic system. And there was a lot of questions that needed to be answered and things you had to talk about. And cheating was brought up as one of them. Porn was brought up as one of them. Like, betrayal, lies, all of these different scenarios were brought up. And we sit and we counsel through these scenarios together and say what we do or do not believe in as a couple or as an individual, especially. And typically you want to agree on those. my husband at the time and I, well, my fiance at the time, we both agreed on all of these scenarios. We expressed our feelings, our emotions of how we would or would not feel if this event were or were not to happen. Okay. So by the time we got to our ceremonial marriage under the Catholic system, it's a full hour mass. It's like blessings and readings and this and that. And these are big deals in the Catholic system. Like it's not, it's just like getting baptized, you know, it's like, it's a big deal. Like these were vows that we took, and to me, I thought he did too, but to me especially, like I took them very seriously. Being raised Catholic, this was my life. Like this was what I believed in. This is what I was going to do. And for him to shit all over all of that by fucking around and finding out, per se, like it was an insult, because I'm like, we sat and said these things, we did these things, we did all of this, not only in front of our family and our friends and the priests that you know, like we went to my church that I grew up in for our pre-K, and we went to his church to get married in, you know, and our family was there. My brother did the readings. Like all of these things were very important to us.
That's a perfect example. That's a perfect example of family ass whooping. Perfect excuse right there. That's a perfect excuse.
Like, that's what I mean, though. But like that, there's a reason. I didn't say that you should. This my feelings about it have nothing to do with your situation. Like that's you, right?
Up to it, okay? Because you're talking about like, you know, well, if he lies to me or if he betrays me or does this or does that, that's one thing. But cheating, you know, actually the act of having sex is another. No. To me, the betrayal began with our vows. Those were our vows. That's what we chose, was to just have each other for the rest of our lives. And I was doing it. I was upholding that vow that we made, but he was not. So when he broke the vow the first time, okay, we're human. I know we're human. I know we do stupid things. God forgives. Jesus forgives. I'm going to forgive. Let's forgive and move on. But I'm going to tell you, Jesus doesn't let you do it twice, right? Like that's not how this works. Grey Pill's filling me right now. But like, so when I say that hurts and I don't like it, this is our marriage and this is what I like for us in our relationship. These were the vows we took. Let's remember that. Let's go back to that. You know, these are what we decided to do. That's why we got married. And then you go and shit on that again. And then you shit on it again. And again, and okay, what do vows, if vows don't mean anything to you, if saying those things in front of God and your family and your friends and like all of the work we did religiously together, then what is this marriage to you? It's obviously nothing.
Well, and that's a valid way to perceive it. I mean, like, I think this is the problem. The problem I think a lot of people have in discussions is like, the way I see it is equally valid, right? But the way you see it also is equally valid, right? When you went through premarital counseling, right? And you laid out, here is the way I see things. Here are my bottom lines. Here are my, you know, you can't unbreakables, right? Here's how I see this vows. Here's how I see this. Here's how I see that, right? Y'all went through that together, right? And that means you came to a mutual understanding, right? And so, and that understanding could actually include anything. A lot of people don't realize that within marriage, a lot of times, whatever the book says or you pare it back, a lot of people come up with their own personal vows, though, right? And I don't mean just like what you're willing to say in front of your family. I mean, like, as in, for example, with a drug addict, your vow might be, hey, if you ever do drugs again, you know I'm leaving you, right? Like, even though whatever. So, I mean, my point is that you're validly allowed to feel total betrayal from the very beginning, because, you know, I'm sure you impressed upon him in the dating part of your relationship, after you got engaged, during premarital, at all these stages, and then you had the grace to forgive him anyway and to be willing to forgive. I get it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that this is an invalid way to feel, right? I'm saying I don't feel that way about cheating, right? Because I perceive it differently, but the way you perceive it is perfectly valid. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Wes, you have any thoughts with the cheating concept? Because I know we were saying a lot.
I think if two people are in a relationship and one gets to the point where they decide to cheat, then they should first end the marriage or work on ending the marriage before they start going out and fooling around, because that's the actual situation. Though Ruby gave the example of maybe there's been a problem between them for a while. Usually before the one person cheats, they get to the other spouse and say, hey, I really need you to be my spouse again, and there is no response. Well, in that situation, it's time to say, well, it's time for us to end this then, not immediately jump into the cheating. But I would put that in the same realm of a lot of other violations of the relationship, violations of trust. You know, like one example was given was gambling away $20,000. That's probably in the same realm of violating trust and violating the bond between two people.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I hear everything. Because I didn't go those steps before, because I know I mentioned with you and actually that I did do the marriage. We do through the church, but we didn't go through all those steps. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like when somebody goes that beyond, like, hey, let's do the preparations. We all agreed. We took in so many tools and steps to do that, and then the person still is continually effing up. If you would have got on a 6 o'clock news and he's like his body somewhere, I think it'd have been so justified to me, because it's not like we just having a casual relationship. I'm telling this is a lot, because it's like I'm with her this way. Like, we put so much energy in this. It's not because usually when people break up, it'd be like, I did this, I did that. So no, we both came together, agreed to everything. We still continue going together. We're still taking the steps and exercising to all this, because marriage is a serious, serious thing. It's, when you say marriage, it's like you're working on it forever shit. You know what I'm saying? And my owner, hold on, because I got vent for you. Because screw that. I'm saying, so because my owner, man, he was just talking like a month ago. He said, well, how people is today's society. He said, me and my wife, when we got together, we have a self calendar for our relationship and our marriage. He's like, when it comes to the kids, the money, and everything else, he's like, we understand when we have kids, it's gonna be less us time versus, it's more of us with the kids time, and how that dynamic works. He said in our heads we put in like 13 to 20 years of that relationship with the kids, because we feel like, hey, high school, college, some little bit of time in college, because they might be in college, but they still might be in the house with us. He said, so we're working on all that until that time, and then when they move forward, then we understand now it's coming back to us. So we have all that prepped. And I'm like, exactly. So when I'm hearing that stuff, I'm like, yo, man. And I've been on both sides of the fence. I never denied that. But I'm not knocking anything that Ruby was saying and what Ruby was classifying with what Ashley was saying. I get it. There's levels to it. The money, the abuse, deleting somebody, heck, just witnessing your spouse. Oh, he's good with me, but he's just doing all types of shenanigans to other people, physical harm. So like, it make you look some kind of way. But when it just comes to the cheating part of it, it's like, you have to know when your mind goes like, yo, she's bad. Okay, cool. And that's what I was trying to say to make the point up to Wes, because I guess he didn't get it. When I say you look, if I'm with my girl and I look, but I don't taste, meaning I don't approach her, I don't ask for a number, I don't low-key hit on her, then the touch, then the taste, you ain't sleeping with her, then it's like I swallow. I'm still continuing with the infidelity of the relationship. So these are what I mean from this step. Before you say, yo, I think she's attractive, I'm not acting on it. Because the moment you start acting on it after you thinking it, yo, let me go to my wife. Let me go to my fiance. Let me go to my living girlfriend. Babe, I got these urges. Let you know this something's going on. Exactly. No swallowing, Ashley. So when you go into these little situations, it's a problem. Let me have a conversation. Maybe we haven't had anything for like a while. I did this the same thing with my ex. We haven't had anything. The reason was we was too busy for that moment. I was like, hold up. We didn't have any for like a month. Let's figure this out. Again, it's a conversation. So I'll leave it there. But if I ever catch you, you let me know. He need hands. You let me know.
I will say at the end of the day, I still forgave him as a person, even though we're divorced now. And I'm
very Catholic of you.
Well, I had to for my own sanity's sake, but not only that, but he's the father of my children. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I still have to respect him as the father. So like, he's the father of my child. Like, I cannot hate him because of that factor. So we don't have to be friends. we don't have to be anything, but I will respect him as the father of my child.
Very
Like,
good, very good Catholic
Mhm.
HRPC mama view, but the streets know now, so he hit. He done. He done.
3.
Again, I like her outfit. Not you, Janelle. Not
Right.
you.
No, her outfit's so cute.
I like
love
it. And she got a braid on her shoulders too. What?
And her hair's
2,
red.
1. I feel like there's like probably worse things like in theory that a partner could do to their partner, but just because that's such an important aspect for me, and like I feel like my partners in the past have like been very aware that was like something that I actively would not do. I feel like that would just make that adds like an extra element of evil.
Yeah, my mind goes to marriage. I mean, you know, when you marry this woman, when I marry a woman someday, you promise literally everything you have to be with her, literally thick and thin, to be with her through everything, through highs and lows. And I mean, if you do something like cheating, it's basically like, screw this love. This wasn't real. These promises that I made between us and God mean nothing. I think for a lot of Christians, that's like a big thing, is cheating. I mean,
100%. And it's one of the 10 commandments too. It's like, do not commit adultery.
Yeah.
So that is definitely the worst thing, because getting married is a promise between you and that person and God.
I mean, technically there's worse things, like they could kill you, which would probably be the worst thing, because then like you're not even in the picture.
You belong over here.
So I'm kind of like, but I would say that would like destroy me, and I would never even think about something like that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I was actually cheated on a few, like 4 or 5 months ago. I struggled with self-esteem so much growing up, and that was the worst thing that could have happened. That destroyed any chance I had at self-love at that time. And it was just devastating for me. Like, it really was just devastating, because it didn't just destroy that relationship, it destroyed my entire image of myself that I had built up based on other people's validation, and I had to rip it down to the studs and just fully start over. Yeah, so that's why I'm over here. Strongly agree. For me personally, it was the worst thing that could have happened.
Cheating is f***ed up. It's not a...
I feel like little petty. I feel like Janelle Red might try to corrupt him and make him a red pill. Just red pill, just cause. I just see it. I see it. All right, let me get back to video. I'm sorry, but I agree. I agree to him, because she's just looking at like, come on, close, come on, close.
Good feeling. Is it the worst thing that a partner could do to me? To be honest, I've outgrown that. Bro, I had over $250,000 stolen from me this year, bro, and that put me in a dark.
The chat
place. Now
ain't
imagine
shit. Oh
if
my God.
partner stole that money from me, or she was just a homie. I'd be more mad about the money. You feel me, right?
I don't have that money to be stolen.
So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
But because at the end of the day, me and my ex, we ain't together no more, so I don't give a fuck if she was a homie, if she was, right? But if she stole my money, yeah, that'll fix my life. You know what I mean, right? So my whole thing is, when we talk about the prom, is cheating the worst thing that the partner could do? Yeah. I've been cheated on before. The first time I was cheated on, bro, I was petty. I was in high school, bro. I drove all the way to the crib and told her mom what she was doing with me. You know what
Yes.
I mean? I was vengeful.
I ain't gonna lie, that was me. That was me. That was so me.
Facts. Yes. That was me too. Listen, I think that it's actually
I had all the receipts to mom. I had all the receipts to mom.
Like, didn't you care a lot? I don't know. I cared more about those things when I was younger, and relationships are obviously way more transient, because I used to be so irrationally in love. I feel like we've been together for 2 weeks, and I seriously think I'm gonna have your babies. We're gonna be together for 50 years and whatever. And then you cheated on me by touching another girl's boob. I'm going to murder you in your sleep. Like, I want to ruin you. I would be so.
Our stream just got shut down.
It was Jubilee. It'll be back up in a minute. I thought I had time to yeah. It was Jubilee.
No, my stream shut down.
What happened?
Jubilee, because I reviewed it a little bit longer than I need to, as far as fair use goes.
Yeah, it's okay. The stream is just shut down, but we'll get it back in a second. It's fine.
Still showing live on my end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it shows it'll show stream available. Hold on, are you simulcasting?
What policy violation?
Oh no.
No, I'm just on StreamYard. It's still showing live.
No, that's StreamYard. That's StreamYard. But on YouTube, if you look on YouTube, it'll show StreamYard unavailable, stream suspended for policy
Policy
violation.
violation.
Yeah. So so if you're watching anybody live video or video of that person, that's pretty much is copyright for them. So if it's not within the fair use, it'll come and pop up. So I didn't watch it. I should have cut it out a minute earlier so we can react to it. So I let it longer so the other person can say his point so we can react to it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
experience.
They're serious.
Yeah. So it's ways around it too. Like say for example, I didn't have time, so Jubilee got me the last time they had like this conversation with trans or something like a while ago, and we was all reacting to it, and I let it run I think like a good minute, and then they clipped it, and then another one happened where it's always been Jubilee. So I was like, let me just take the time out to make it transformative, and then just crop out the video, do all the little bells and whistles. That's the only way I'm gonna get by it. So it's Jubilee. Always Jubilee.
Oh, so she doesn't like people.
But that's what any content. We're back now. So that's what any content creator, like other content creators would do it too. Like only people I know is cool so far that have no problem. Andrew really don't care that much. Like you just speak to him. I know Alex Planet Fire don't really care. That's pretty much how I learned in the beginning.
Andrew,
Alex and Duke really don't care because back in the day when it was me, Poppy, Duke, and all of us, Papa would literally just take the whole content, upload his channel, and that was it. He did the same thing with mine, but we was all cool and close with each other. So it's like, hey, go get your content, not a big deal. The only problem I have with anybody, like if you're gonna react to me, talk to me, shout out to Priscilla, at least put my stupid tag of the channel and the subject, at least that, so they know where it came from, so you can go there.
Yeah.
But luckily, she was hating on Ruby so much, like all of our faces there, you got no choice but to fire us. So it's cool with the link.
Bother me like LFA. He'll play my stuff on his stream, like to be funny. But I'll typically be on with him when he does it. But it doesn't. If anybody did it, I wouldn't care because it's just additional exposure. Like I'm not going to copyright you on anything unless you just take the video and upload it and call it your own. It's a different story. But like if you're reacting to it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Ashley, because that's pretty much the main reason I even knew of Jubilee. I could never care for him, except for Abram Preach always reacted to him, and I thought a lot of from Abram Preach. I thought he had a lot of good content. I said, "Oh, this is something to react to." And it's another one too, unapologetic. She was literally live watching herself, same thing I did, and it just nothing happened. I'm in the comments like, "Why y'all channel not being this? Why y'all channel not being that?" So.
A lot of people don't realize. So like, for example, because I upload the pre-records and whatever, so I upload the pre-records of what we play in the live. And what will end up happening is, so like there's this one video, I played it on the live. It was fine on the live. But when I went to go and upload the individual, like this was just 2 days ago, literally policy community guideline strike. I'm like, for what? What do you mean? Yeah, so I had to appeal it. So like the robot is oversensitive. Let's put it that way. Their robot for all these things is oversensitive, and as a result people will get their channels struck or get their videos blocked or whatever. And it's not like a human being. It's not like Jubilee went and complained or something, right? It's just the robot that's protecting their content is really hypersensitive because Jubilee's massive. Like it's a really, really big platform, so they get a lot of protection, unfortunately. And so you have to appeal, but a lot of people don't appeal. So then what ends up happening is it's like telling Jubilee and it's telling YouTube it's okay, right? Like we have to fight, and a lot of people are not fighting back. So it's going to keep happening until we fight back, and it's costing them more money to do things this way than it is for them to manual review the first original complaint, because they don't manual review.
I agree, because do better. I'm a mod for him. I actually do the work for the mod Poppy. I do the mod work over there. But do better. He does a lot, and he says like he had to pretty much. I think it's an app or something. He had to pretty much run the video through before just to see if he get approved. But even still, like when he was showing his behind the scenes, he was showing people like, hey, they were still demonetized or still trying to fight. He'll just go ahead and push it back through again. Just like, hey, appeal, and let them do the work. So
and that's what I do. But everything I play on the stream, if I'm doing a live stream, I'm going to review something, I make a video of what I'm going to review, upload it onto my channel, and then see if it's going to get struck in any way first before. And so that's as a whole. So I'm uploading like the whole Jubilee video I'm going to review. I upload the whole thing first. and then I argue that point before I'm going to review it, so that way I don't get this issue.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I do for mine, especially because I pull from everybody, and then I also
Mhm.
pull music too for the parodies. But I always like upload it first to make sure, and I upload it like unlisted to make sure there's no copyright strike, or if there's a copyright, it's still permissible.
Yeah.
As long as it still allows it, then I'll use it. But I'll do that before I do all of the work afterwards.
The music is the easiest thing though, because I know like some they'll just, as long as you put in their link or something that's for the most part showing where it's come from, giving credit, they're fine with that. Or you got their free copyright, like YouTube offers you some. There's actually content channels that actually have like free copyright music. And then again, another one referencing Do Better Again, where he mentions that you can pay for a I don't know the actual name for a source, a licensed source where you can actually like just play anything as long as you're paying the rental fee for a month. So there's options to it, but it's really easy. But with that being said, we hit out to our marker, and Wes is yawning, so that's a sign for him to go get tucked in, go night night.
He didn't even complain yet. Wait a minute.
He was throwing jab. He started with a jab. He started with a jab before he even hit the stream. I was like, "Yo, where we going with this?"
Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah, I know that petty, Wes. I know that petty. Like Cocalina. So just sniffing it all out. So and all right. So final thoughts, everybody, with the round. What's up, Neo? Appreciate you. He says hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. So final thoughts, everybody. What's your I appreciate that, man. Thank you. So final thoughts on the whole not Janelle's dress, but I might throw a jab at that one. But the whole concept of men and women being friends, thoughts, inputs, concern, all that good stuff. It doesn't matter what order. Wes, sir.
Well, men and women cannot be friends in the same way that dudes will be friends with each other, in the same way that girls will be friends with each other. There's limitations to how much men and women can be friends. I think it's your turn, Sarah.
Are you done? I know. Okay. Might have a little bit more to give.
Again, I stick with the fact that, like, I think men and women can be friends in different stages, or if they're in different stages, like in their relationships or ages and things of that such. But I don't know. I think the dynamics of the relationship come down to two people at the end of the day and what they feel. Obviously, Ruth and I have very different concepts of our relationship. She's a little bit more open and more, not open as in an open relationship, but more open as in more free reign. Whereas me, I like to stick to my man and be with my man, and that is the only man in my life. So I'll roll on that one.
All right, fair enough. Ruby?
So obviously, I believe that men and women can be friends. I think we need to specificity of language is important, and in this day and age, I understand with the internet, language is forever evolving, and it's like it almost doesn't have set meanings, but it does. Right? Friend and friendship has a set meaning already. That's why if it's not quite friendship, we have other words already for that, like acquaintance, right? Or colleague, peer. So I think we need to stop defining everything that is not boyfriend or girlfriend as friendship, because obviously it's not. First of all, that will clear a bunch of stuff right there. Secondly, I think what needs to happen is we need to make very clear-cut definitions of what friendship is, not just for this boy girl relationships. Obviously, for people who are in same gender, same sex relationships, that becomes even more complicated, right? I have friends who are lesbians. They're attracted to women. They're not attracted to me at all.
Like lesbians.
Right?
Like lesbians.
But they are attracted to women, right? And so in the same way that they could not be attracted to me, because we're just friends, like you just don't see each other that way, right? It's the same way that men could not be attracted to me when they're around me, and vice versa. And I think that, if we were to really make clear cut, like, it would be less confusing for people to understand, and it would be less for like these people. A lot of people say, yeah, it's fine, you can be friends, I'm not insecure and whatever, and they're seeing stuff in front of them that they know is not friendship level, right? But they're trying not to be insecure, they're trying not to this, they're trying not to that, they're trying to be the cool one and whatever. And it's like, if there were clear-cut definitions, they wouldn't get roped into that crap to begin with, which is why they're like, no, there's no such thing as men, women, friends. I mean, look at this, I believed that once and look how it bit me in the ass and whatever. And I totally understand that fear, you know, once bitten, twice shy. But I think that's why we need to stop just using the word friend to mean just anything at all. And we need to really start like putting the word friend on a pedestal and putting everything else somewhere else. And then I think that that would help a lot. So
I agree.
You don't get it. I built this place. Down here, I make the rules.
All right. With that being said, appreciate everybody for coming through. Final thoughts. Pretty much said it all. They said it all. It just comes down to communication. I really feel like it kind of sucks that we have to rehash a lot of these old conversations that to me feel like is basic things. Like, hey, have your boundaries, vet properly. I agree, understand that, you know, everybody's not perfect. Sometimes you might have a 1-year relationship, 5-year relationship, 10 relationship, and then it goes a little bit left, but you still got to be a little bit, you know, have the sense that God gave you to say, hey, you know what? Like Sarah said, let's start planning out these things so we can be a little bit better as a family dynamic. Because hey, me and you ain't working out, you know. So you just have to have those type of conversations. It sucks to see, you know. I don't know. It's just weird, man, for me. So people need to understand what friends really is. I get it, but if you start seeing flags and you're making a lot of complaints, because I see this in all the spaces and chats, especially it's consistent, and if you're aware of this, like why still heart with these type of individuals? Because clearly they're not friends. I don't even think I even have like, or quote unquote, your 5 hands. Like just look in your hand, count who's your best friend, what they do for you, contribute to you. You know, do they help out? I got an actual friend that's like, barely see him. He's more of a good friend. People I see like my next door neighbor. So you got to understand what's the quality of a friend is, you know, the male and female, just like a relationship. You know, am I really going to waste a good friendship because I'm horny? Does that make any sense? You know, brothers, you know, fellas, y'all, the 2 pump chumps, is the 2 pumps really worth it? Is it? Just let me know. I don't know. And then they say always just say this with the D clarity. Then when you got the D clarity, it's like, yeah, the post nut clarity, is that still worth it too? Because again, that was your wife, that was the girlfriend, and somebody you went out your way to do all these tricks and hoop just to get with her and say the words "I love you." It just add up for me. It just, especially when you know what
if
you.
It's the great pill. Cheating would never be a thing.
I agree. But that's why, again, that's younger kids. I understand of younger people doing it. And again, like I said, I've been on both sides of the fence, but it got to come down to some kind of understanding. Like, look, and from my experience, it's always been a lot of more women being more straightforward with that concept. Like, look, I just want to sleep with you. This is all of what it is. Nothing more, no less. You make the choice. Hey, I just want to be friends. You make the choice. I'm looking. This is my intent for a marriage relationship. You make the choice. So people on both ends have to understand when it comes to the opposite sex. Like I strongly believe guys and women can be friends, but there's boundaries and there's limits to it. So people just have to be very, very careful with the dynamic and don't abuse it. You know, hint, hint, wink, wink, New York. Let the man come in the bedroom you in the 90s. Because us men, we have thoughts. We can't help that. That's why I said early in the last stream, if you got to spend a night in my house and I'm single, I'll go sit in the couch. You take the bed, or we're trying to play we can sleep together. I'm putting pillow walls together. I'm grabbing another blanket. You sleep there, and then you can be like all morning, like, oh, he was a gentleman. Yeah, but guess what? That night was a rough one for me. So I'm just saying, be careful. But with that being said, I might do something later tonight just because. But if not, I'll do something in the morning. I will catch you later. So thank you. Appreciate everybody for their time. Sarah, Ruby, Wes, like always. And night.
Cheers, y'all.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.